Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's HeroesHearth TFT Fight Night. It's been a minute since I've been here, but glad to be back, ready to cast some more high-level action. Set 2 just dropped a couple days ago to live patch, so we're going to be seeing a lot of new cool stuff today. And I'm joined here by my fellow caster, Casanova. How are you doing tonight?
We back. The goons are back to cast some Fight Night. We got some back-to-back weeks coming at you, trying to get off that patch schedule. We're bringing set 2. Set 2, baby. I'm feeling good. I'm ready. I'm excited to see all the new action, the new champions they're bringing in. It's going to be sweet, and we have a dope lobby tonight for you
yeah,
guys.
we do.
Oh, my God. Bunch of Challenger and High Master players. X Fight Night champions, a bunch of returning faces. Oh my gosh, it's going to be some good games tonight.
That they will. It's always, I know there's going to be good players competing. So, sometimes, I take a little bit of notes for myself and some of these players competing with, strats they pull out. So there's definitely going to be things to learn from all of them today. And introducing our players, we have Rayditz, the defending champion. Very good player. Indeed, the champ. See if they can go back to back to back, or back to back, I suppose. Maybe next week after back to back to back. But then we got DXN, we got Kladeous, Teebs, Kymzi, Bentobot, God Ant, and 2Yo-Hey joining us tonight for these games.
Oh man, I'm super excited. Getting those returning faces like DXN, Kladeous, Rayditz, Kymzi, all been around in these fight nights before. And we're going to see how they do yet again. DXN and Kladeous always performing extremely well. I think they've been in some of the most amount of fight nights out of anybody. And Rayditz, in the past 3 times that he's been here, has done exceptionally well. So really excited to see if he can hold on to that title. But he's got a lot of competition here tonight.
Oh, indeed. Those players, like you mentioned, DXN and Kladeous, both very, very high level, even top 5 in North America at one point. So definitely some quality players and quality games we're going to be having here tonight. And it's going to be interesting seeing how the new faces here will stack up against them. I mean, obviously, they are good players as they are here tonight competing. So maybe they'll be able to challenge these top dogs, if you will.
Yeah, and I am excited to see that happen, especially on this new set. Of course, what you guys can do in the chat can donate to the bounty, donate bits, donate tips. They're both going in tonight. They go to the bounty and they go to the players. 60% to the top 4 finishers.
Indeed, and 20% goes to that bounty, and 20% also goes to the cast and crew, everyone helping out here tonight. But that bounty, one of the most appealing things here, if you win 2 weeks in a row, you have a chance to cash it out or try to get more money into that bounty so that you can claim it in the future, or maybe have it taken from you if someone claims victory. But yes, all bits and tips will be going to that, so all the support really does help us out here tonight.
And super cool thing about tonight is all of these players will be returning next week yet again for Fight Night. So we're going to see like the preview of another patch. They're getting an opportunity to test some stuff out, show what they got, show how fast they can learn, and then come back for another competition against each other next week. But here we go into game number 1. Let's see how this starts out.
Oh yeah, now we got these elemental hexes and increased board size. There's so many new changes to that too. I guess, yeah, we should start with those. This map we have Inferno. So that Inferno hex that you see Rayditz's Malzahar on there gives 30% attack speed and consumes an item slot. So you can only have 2 items on a unit if you still want to utilize that buff, but Malzahar is one of the very good units right now, so we'll see if Rayditz decides to keep Malzahar going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And with these hexes coming in, these elemental hexes, Inferno, as you said, gives that attack speed. This is a new mechanic that's been added in this set. For those in the chat that do not know what they do, Khroen, do you want to go ahead and explain it a little bit? Do they change? You said they mention an item, but there's 4 different, if I believe. There's Inferno, Cloud, Water and the Earth Drake as well. Go ahead and talk a little bit more in depth on these.
Indeed. Well, the Inferno again gives 30% attack speed. After round or on round 3-1, after the Krug PvE round, is when another elemental hex, still the same Inferno, it'll stay Inferno for the whole game. That's when another one will pop up at another random place on this board. But yes, as you alluded to, there are going to be 3 other different ones. Not this game, we might see them next game. There will be the Ocean Hex, which gives starting mana to any unit that you place. There will be the Mountain Hex, which gives plus 30 HP every round, and it stays permanently. And then there will be the Cloud Hex, which gives 20% dodge to a unit that sits in there. Now, they do consume an item slot, so you can only have 2 items on a unit, while also utilizing the Hex's benefits, but yeah, we got a lot of diversity, and these hexes change up how players are going to be playing these games. Some comps are going to be better, and some might be a little bit worse, depending on what exact map it is.
Yeah, I was going to ask just that. When you see this on your opening board, you see that elemental, does that kind of influence your decisions throughout the game as far as what compositions you may want to run? Because attack speed could be much better for that kind of hyper carry marksman style of comp in phase 1 that we saw a lot.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you have an Inferno Hex towards the back, we see Kymzi has Varus on that Hex right now. It's going to be good for these auto attack carries. She might transition away from the Varus eventually, maybe utilize, I don't know, an Ashe, a Sivir. Even Assassins are very good in these Inferno Hexes, increasing attack speed. But yeah, it will change how the game is played, what units you want to put there. It creates a lot of options for sure.
Yeah, there's so many new things in this set. We saw 3 Inferno set already for Kymzi there. 2 Druids on someone else's board. Did not see who she was scouting there, but Kymzi does have that 3 Inferno. Let's just go ahead and go over some of these bonuses. The 3 Inferno bonus, she's already got that. What is that one going to be doing for her? And does she look to continue that to even maybe 6 Inferno later?
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of players will continue it to 6 Inferno, so probably just sticking with the 3 for now. But on a spell cast, when a unit is hit by a spell, it'll create a little burning hex under that unit hit by the spell, which will burn for, I believe, 80% of the base spell damage, and it will burn over the course of 5 seconds. So say Varus, hits a Q on a couple of enemies, they will both have a burning little hex created under them that will deal damage to them over time. And that's the Inferno Hex, or the Inferno Synergy.
Yeah, the Inferno Synergy.
But
yeah, of course.
But I've seen a couple of players try to go for 6 Inferno. I'm personally not a huge fan of it, but it's maybe viable.
It seems like a fairly good early game, but probably falls off a little bit later unless you can get maybe just some kind of big burst damage mage with it. But we also, you were talking earlier about people hyper rolling for Predator was one of the things, and we saw someone who did have 3 Predator already when we were cycling through.
Yeah, that we did. Predator is one of those compositions that hyper rolling is good for. So you wait until the round after Krugs, you don't level up ever, just save your gold up to maybe around 50 or 60, and you just roll for those units that you want. So Predators are one of the best compositions there. And comparatively, towards the end of set 1 of TFT, hyper rolling wasn't really a strategy that people were going for because there was a lot more units in the pool. But now there's only 51 units, and it's actually going to be better hyper rolling because there's a reduced amount of total 1-cost units, down from 39 to 29. So as long as no one else is going your comp, it's actually going to be a lot better for you to hit those units and get your tier 3 or your 3-star units to hit that power spike.
Yeah, and we're seeing Tuyo Hayes sitting here with 3 Predator, 2 Steel, which was one of the comps mentioned that you did say hyper rolling was very strong for. So it looks like that may be the strategy that we'll see him go into. Since he already has those units set up, it seems like that might be something he's going to like to go for.
Definitely, and important to note, Tuyohei has not purchased XP at all this game, just naturally went to level 4 over time, so it definitely could be an option. We'll see if Tuyohei will look to go towards 20 gold from this carousel phase. You can actually, before the income is calculated, you can sell the unit from the carousel that you get And if you reach the next threshold of gold, you still will get that increased income. So a little nice trick there that I'm sure all of these players know of and be looking to utilize.
Yeah, let's go ahead and watch him here, as he'll likely be doing that in order to get himself to that next threshold, continue to income, get his gold so he can set up that rolling strategy. He goes ahead and picks up that Qiyana, very interesting unit. I read a little bit about that and was really excited to see her in action, seeing as how she changes for her synergy based on the dragon on the map.
Yeah, indeed. Qiyana is a very, very unique unit. The only unit that will do that. A change based on the board hex. Lux will also change, but that doesn't depend on the board. But yeah, Qiyana can either be Inferno, Mountain, Ocean, or Cloud, depending on what the map is. So she'll be Inferno on this map, giving players a good opportunity to go 3 Infernos for the early game if they're looking to do that. And she's just a good unit in general. She will, when she casts her ultimate, which will stun 2 targets and deal massive damage, she'll actually like slide a little bit to the side to get a better angle to hit 2 units at the same time. And not many units, if any, do that as well. Will rearrange their positioning to ultimate. So very, very good unit. You can see Kladeous here with just some 2-star units, couple druids, couple electrics.
Yeah,
decides to make that Guardian Angel.
Volibear returning from the previous set, but with a different ultimate this time.
Yeah. Volibear will now, once he reaches full mana, he'll bite the target for I don't remember how much damage exactly it is, but if he gets the kill, it will reset his full mana bar, so he'll be able to bite once again. Didn't quite kill the Maokai there, so didn't get the reset, but yeah, the returning units, a lot of them are different into set 2. A lot of changes.
Yeah, Ornn, a new character into this set, Warden Electric. Some of the new synergies. On this board right now, Kladeous' board, he does have 2 Electric, 2 Druid. So he's going to have the shocking champions nearby whenever they receive a critical strike is the Electric.
Yep. When they deal or receive a critical strike,
right.
It will have a little AoE electricity around them that will deal damage. I believe it's 70 damage for 2 Electrics, 250 for 3, and 500 for 4 Electrics. And to get 4 Electrics, you need Electric Lux to be able to do that. But players probably will not find those. Well, definitely won't find those until level 7 or 8, probably. So we'll see later on in that game.
Right. Lux, another new unit that I'm really excited to see utilized here. The only 7 cost unit in the game.
Yeah, she does cost 7 gold, which is a lot.
Has the potential to be any any of the different elements. It's elements and classes now. I'm getting used to they've changed it on us, so getting
a lot of changes
to that again. But elements and classes are the 2 distinctions. She can be any element, but once you see one and purchase one, you can't find another Lux of a different element.
Correct. Once you either have one on your board or bench, you will only find that same element Lux. You could sell them and then start finding new ones, but yeah, once you have that on your bench or the board, it'll be the same. Another item, actually, or an item that's really popular is Zephyr. And it's really interesting because a lot of players are trying to build Zephyr early and place it on that elemental hex, because chances are your opponent is going to have their strongest unit on that elemental hex. So you'll take them out of the fight for 6 seconds at the beginning with Zephyr. So a lot of increased value this set due to that fact.
Yeah, that's a very smart adaptation that people have already made. The set barely coming out. It was on the PvE for a bit, so people were able to test. But it's a very smart adaptation because, of course, especially on something like Inferno, you're going to be putting a carry most likely in the position that's going to get 30% increased attack speed. So it's a very, very smart play. We see 2 Zephyrs here for Rayditz.
That's very early 2 Zephyrs. No other items, just the 2 Zephyrs until he just picked up a few more items here, actually. Wow. 3 items from Krugs. That must be a record. Rarely ever see that one. And sitting at 100 HP. I mean, this is a very strong start with Druids and Predators. Druid synergy means the Druids will regen their HP over time, so very tanky. And then mostly all upgraded Predators here. Putting the Woodlands as well. Woodlands will actually copy one of the Woodland units, so you'll have an extra unit on the board. And that is very, very strong. Selling that Maokai to put the
absolutely, and the Predator synergy, of course, being that they will instantly kill enemies who are below 25% HP.
Indeed.
making them extremely deadly when they're dealing damage.
Oh yeah,
anyone they hit probably destroy front lines.
for sure. It's actually a little both hyper carries there got Zephyr'd with the same exact items, the Inferno Hex, Rageblade, and the Zephyr there, between 2 woodland units. Nico is a woodland druid. On your side, I believe Rayditz will still... Yeah, Rayditz's comp is just so strong right now. Probably going to see him win streak for a while. Now, he also didn't decide to hyper roll for the Predators. He was deciding to use that gold to level up and roll to put more units in. But it seems pretty strong right now, so maybe not a lot of rolling to be done for a little while. Might try to get up to that 50 gold mark, making a lot of money, and then eventually level to 7 near the Wolf round.
Yeah, I want to check in with Tuyohei and see if he ended up doing that hyper rolling.
It looks like it, yep.
Yeah,
level 5 in this round.
Did. As we thought, he did go for the hyper roll strategy. He does have quite a few Predators here on his bench, very close to a couple T3s.
Yeah.
He's fallen a bit behind in HP, but he's on the verge of being exceptionally strong if he can find those upgrades. Sitting on a lot of power on his bench, just waiting to find it.
Yeah, 1 away from the Skarner at 3 stars, 2 away from the Kog'Maw. Pretty far away from the Warwicks though, but Warwick isn't the most important unit. You do want to get Warwick to 3 stars if you can. Yeah, a lot of gold invested into a lot of different units here. Has that Nocturne and Rek'Sai for the 2 steal bonus, which quickly will provide 2 seconds of immunity for 2 steals if they reach under 50% health. And found the Nocturne too. Nocturne is a very, very good carry. Did it get nerfed a little bit from the PBE? But definitely still a strong assassin there.
Yeah,
I would
that's
like to see
Steel Predator on that Nocturne, making him immune and is also doing all that damage. His, I believe, ultimate, it seems as though they pulled his passive from League of Legends, and he has the AoE auto attack. Now, I'm curious, I haven't seen, but does that proc the Predator? So his damage is everything around him below 25%. I believe he would just kill all the units around him if they were low health.
If he was a Predator, it would do that, but Nocturne is not a Predator. Yeah, Assassin. Rek'Sai is the Steel Predator.
Rek'Sai is the Steel Predator, right.
Yep. But yeah, I would like to see Tuyohei put the Nocturne into the Elemental Hex there to give him that attack speed, as that's going to be his most valuable carry right now. The Kog'Maw is probably not going to do too much until Kog'Maw reaches 3 stars. But yeah, sitting on 39 HP already is not where you want to be at. Definitely a bit low for this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Rayditz still undefeated with the composition he had, looking very strong.
Indeed. Teebs also under 50 HP at this point as well, but good thing about being being the lowest 2 people is that you get to pick first on the carousel. Tuyohei decides to go for an Aatrox with a sword, and Teebs, I believe, picked up a cloak. Not sure what unit it was, but it was a 3 cost unit. Yeah, the Mundo. Mundo, pretty interesting unit. I like him a lot, actually. He's a poison berserker. Yeah, we see Teebs here with a couple other Mundos, I guess, looking to make that into a 2-star and play it right away, perhaps. Teebs also with a few Predators here. A lot of people going Predators this game, actually, or fitting them into the comp, at least.
Yeah, it seems so. Predator being very popular already. You had mentioned before this that you did expect it to be a popular pick in this set, and so far it is proving to be just that. Definitely.
And probably that's part of the reason why Tuyohei was not able to find those 3-star units, because multiple other people have some Predators. They weren't hyper rolling for them, but even, you know, what is it, I believe 7 Kog'Maws between Rayditz and Teebs. Those 7 units not being in the pool for Tuyohei makes it a lot harder to find that 3-star, as there are only 29 total in the pool. There are probably some other players with some various Predators out there as well. We see Rayditz here, still 100 HP versus Kladeous. I wonder how this fight's gonna go.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Kladeous still getting crushed, but he's kind of holding on for a little bit longer, staying alive.
Yeah.
End of the day, though, it seems like Rayditz is just much too strong at this moment. Kladeous gonna lose a little bit of HP here.
Yeah, killed a few units there. It wasn't the worst. You know, Kladeous is 3rd place right now with 80 HP. Has a Volibear 2, has an Ornn 2 for the couple electrics. You know, electric doesn't really start popping off until you have 3 electrics, because going from 70 to 250 damage is a huge increase. But you do need either the Lux or the Zed to do that. both are of which are legendary units, which you won't find until level 7 at the very minimum. Which some players are trying to go right now. I believe Rayditz, yeah, is level 7 before the Wolves, still with 46 gold. Yeah, that win streak really paying dividends here, being able to econ that much.
Yeah, absolutely. Sitting on 2 Steel, 2 Druid, 3 Woodland, 3 Predator. A lot of synergies, a lot of items. Those Zephyrs working out for him. He's already had 2 at the start of the game, so he's able to get rid of these 2 units on the hexes with the buffs. And really just all that extra uptime of his carries seems to be really working out in his favor.
Definitely. All of Rayditz's items are good right now. Usually at this point in the game, you might be holding on to, a spare item or two, wanting to get, to look for another item in the future, say after the PvE rounds. But no, all of Rayditz's items are very strong in the current moment, lending himself to keep holding on to that win streak. Check back in with TioHei going into Wolf round with 14 HP. That's some of the lowest that I've seen, unfortunately, for TioHei. TioHei is going to need something fast to be able to stabilize. Probably going to keep rolling after this round to find those tier 3 units.
Yeah, he still has not found that last Skarner, hasn't found an additional Kog'Maw yet. He found a couple of Warwicks, but that doesn't really help out too much since he is very far away. And the fact that he's still on the tier 1 Rek'Sai is a little bit unlucky for him as well.
Definitely. Still not having the Nocturne in that Elemental Hex. Maybe that's part of the reason why he might be losing a little bit more HP than normal. But after this turn, hopefully TioHei is going to find some of those upgrades. I know players who run early to mid-game Predators will probably look to eventually transition out of those in favor of stronger units and synergies later on down the line, but a lot of good items there. Let's see what TioHei decides to do with that. It has a Nico as well. Maybe we'll decide to Nico the Kog'Maw, to be honest. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is where it all comes down. 20 seconds remaining until this round. Honestly, TioHei, if they don't find the things they need,
there we go.
Fall here. Yep.
There's the upgrades.
Hitting the units.
When it rains, it pours. He finds one of them and finds the rest there. Able to upgrade to the T3 Skarner and the T3 Kog'Maw in the same round. He's got to probably put these items on, as he's not going to be able to afford to lose any more HP.
Definitely not. Still has that Nico as well. Yeah, going against Godant here. Godant pretty strong here. The Rek'Sai did get Zephyr, which is only a tier 1. It's probably best case scenario. But that tier 2 Olaf, though, on the side of Godant, really wrecking everything here.
Yeah, it's putting in a lot of work, but the Skarner's still alive. T3 high.
Yeah.
He's staying alive.
Stay alive for now. I mean, that's the point where you really, really need to stabilize after you roll down all of your gold like that. And being on level 6 right now, that Skarner did 4,000 damage there at tier 3. So, yeah, a couple of good items on him as well. Iceborne Gauntlet, very, very strong item here in this set. So that definitely paid great dividends for him there. Oh yeah, now moves the Nocturne into the Mental Hex. There we go.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if at any point he had the Rek'Sai there trying to play around getting Zephyr'd.
Maybe.
And just realized at this point it was hurting him more than it was helping him. To switch in now switching in the Nocturne, trying to get just that extra buff on one of his carries.
Yeah, I do know that Rayditz had a couple of Zephyrs. I'm not sure how many other players have a Zephyr though. But that enemy Nocturne from Teebs just destroying that Kog'Maw. Can Skarner carry again? Can he do it? It's looking pretty close.
Able to.
The redemption
gonna proc.
Ooh, it does go off. Yeah, I think TioHei is holding on for now. Pretty strong after finding those upgrades, it seems.
Yeah, we'll see how long he can hold on to that 14 HP, if he can make his way into the top 4, score some points in this first round. I think it'll be hard pressed for him to find a win on this game. It looks like Rayditz just passed up a Lux though, potentially looking for a different type. I did not see which type that was though.
It was a Crystal Lux, which can synergize very well with other Crystal units like Taric, Ash. Ooh, a Shadow Lux. Too bad Rayditz doesn't have any shadows right now, as that would be a pretty good pickup. Maybe decides to buy it anyway. Rayditz went to level 8 on round 4-3, which is pretty early, but had the gold to be able to do so. It just has a tier 2 Janna on the bench. Says I don't need that in right now, or just found it, so couldn't even put it in right now. But facing Tuyohei, maybe Tuyohei is strong enough to deal with this. I'm not sure.
It's all going to be on this Skarner. He's the last one alive. He's being able to pump out a lot of damage. He's very tanky. He still has that redemption to proc in a bit, and the shields keep coming up. I think the Skarner is going to be able to deal with this.
I think so too.
Yeah, the Predator just procking out of control. He's able to just keep killing off these units. That's huge for Tuyohei. He's finally going to put some damage onto Rayditz, and also he's going to keep himself alive this round, as that was probably very scary running into Rayditz, who was still at 100 HP prior to that round going in.
Definitely.
Hanging on.
I mean, this is around the point where Rayditz might start falling off a bit, depending on how much they found. I mean, Rayditz took a pretty aggressive round, pretty early to level to 8, and didn't really find that many things on those rolls. Like, found a tier 2 Janna and Deluxe, and that is already so much gold invested. I believe 19 gold, from both of those units there, and just has them on the bench. So, Rayditz has the HP to work with here. We'll see what that translates into moving forward. Might lose a few more rounds, but then transition into a very strong comp again. You know, HP is a resource in TFT.
Yeah, exactly. So looking at Rayditz's comp, though, what do you think he's trying to transition into? What units is he really looking for? Because he has the Lux, he has the Janna, but what else is he going to build into that comp?
Maybe Master Yi. Master Yi is a Mystic, which synergizes with the Janna, giving magic resist to your whole team. And he's also Shadow, and a really good hyper carry as long as you have some decent items on him. Some melee auto attacker kind of items, like a Rage Blade, a Bloodthirster, Rapid Fire Cannon, some good things like that in TFT. Now DXN went for lights here. Has a tier 3 Vayne. See if that's able to beat Bento Bot here with the 6 summoners, 3 electric. That's gonna be a lot of damage coming out of those electrics there. This Vayne, do it, not quite.
Trying her best, but not enough to deal with the 6 summoners and all that electric damage you can see going out. Having 3 electric, as you mentioned earlier on, is a huge power spike. The damage difference of 70 to 250 on each of those crits is massive.
Definitely. I wonder if Ventobot will have a chance to go to level 8 or maybe find a Force of Nature off of Raptors, because Ventobot does have 1 spatula already. Just needs another one to get that Force of Nature to add another unit in. Maybe putting in a Volibear or an Ornn for that 4 electric will be the route, because there's already 6 summoners, so you don't really need any more of those. And Inferno's probably not going to be the one that you want, the synergy you want to put in right now. Facing Kladeous right now, though. Kladeous also has some electrics of his own. Zeds on both sides here.
Whose is going to be more potent here? The Lux Laser going out, being able to kill off a couple of units. The Redemption going to heal a couple to full. That's a very big Tibbers. We'll see if it's able to continue to win this fight. But the Volibear is trying to chunk it down. Will the Tibbers make it out to the Kindred in time? 1 hit. The kiting from the Kindred going to be able to get the victory for Kladeous there.
Challenger level Kindred right there, that kiting. I mean, 6 summoner Tibbers, that thing has a lot of health. Very, very, very tanky. And deals a lot of damage too.
Yeah,
just barely able to kill it in time.
Kladeous showing his expertise as a player, microing his unit out of the play, able to kite him down.
If only.
Challenger players and everyone else.
Oh yeah. Kymzi looking to be hyper rolling Infernos. I actually was going to mention it earlier, but I didn't, because I didn't think many players would be hyper rolling for Infernos, but that is a strategy that some people have been trying to make work recently. It's going to be a lot of damage out of this tier 3 Varus and tier 3 Zyra. So I wonder, once Kymzi finds the last Diana and levels up to 7, to put that brand in, if 6 Infernos will be what she needs to stabilize here, because she's even fallen a bit lower than Tuyohei now. Tuyohei hasn't lost a round in a little bit here.
Yeah, it's gonna
put
her.
Oh, there's the Diana. Low. Wow.
So she's got all her upgrades right here because she can put in this brand.
Oh, that's
Kindred
huge,
instead.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Gives 2 Shadow and 2 Ranger right there. Scion, a very, very good Shadow unit. Good frontliner, deals a lot of AoE damage. INCC is maybe putting the Brandon over the Annie. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, decides to put the Annie back in.
We'll see.
Yeah,
all right.
There's no summoners. There's only 2 summoners right now, so the Annie might not be as important, but still a decent unit. Falling very quickly to that Kha'Zix and Yasuo, though.
This Zephyr, too, causing a lot of problems. Viveris has had 0 uptime this entire fight. Finally going to be able to cast an ultimate, but it's only going to hit 1 unit. Scion trying to put out a little bit of damage, but now it's all up to the Kiana.
Can Kiana do it? Guardian's Angel there. Just needs to kill it.
No, that's not going to be enough, is it?
Exact lethal. Yeah. Actually exact lethal. That is tragic. If the Kiana had hit 2 other units there, besides only, I believe, hitting the LeBlanc and killing it, then maybe Kymzi would have survived 1 more round, but unfortunately, she goes out here in 8th. Hyper-rolling Infernos, not looking to be the hot in Game 1 here, unfortunately.
Yeah, and with her composition, she wasn't able to utilize both of the Inferno hexes without compromising her positioning, which definitely, I feel, hurt her in that in these fights, because being down that 30% buff is just definitely not what you're gonna want.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Bento bot here with 4 electrics managed to find that.
Crazy.
That's gonna be a lot. I mean, the Zed, just look at the Zed here. Anytime he crits or someone crits him, yeah, the Scion just got evaporated there. Oh man, Bento bot pretty strong here. Pretty strong.
A lot of damage to God in there. Definitely looking to pull his way back up on the leaderboards here. He's only at 13 HP, but his composition looks scary. And Tuyohei has not lost since he got those upgrades as well. So he's definitely sitting pretty for himself, trying to find a couple more upgrades as well, getting up to 3 assassins now.
Oh man, unfortunately though, Teebs did lose last round, is out in 7th place. But Tuyohei and Bentobot, low HP players, holding on, trying to get into that top 4 to secure some points. We'll see if they're able to accomplish it. Or if people like DXN, Kladeous, and God Ant can still hold on. Rayditz still by far in 1st place in terms of HP right now.
Yeah, now we got Tuyohei definitely looking to be in a lot of danger. This fight doesn't look to be going his way nearly as well. God Ant's composition really holding on, but the Skarner needs to get a little bit more uptime. He keeps getting frozen by the Glacier, gets knocked up by Scion as well.
Kiana in the back.
Picking up a couple of kills. We're going to see if Skarner is going to be able to get those procs. Once we get to those kill thresholds for this Predator, Skarner's going to be just fine, but he keeps getting frozen. It looks like this will be okay. Scion drops into the threshold. And Tuyohei's going to keep that streak. It was looking a little bit tight for a second there, but Tier 3 Skarner is a monster. That thing stays alive for so long, and all it's got to do is survive until the health bars get just low enough, and those Predator procs are going to win rounds for Tuyohei.
Definitely, especially with the Iceborne Gauntlet, reducing the attack speed of everything around whenever he dodges an attack. So definitely helping to keep that Skarner alive and cast those shields and attacking faster. Skarner does attack faster whenever he casts a shield on himself. I believe Tuyohei picked up a Force of Nature there. So I want to check back in with Tuyohei here, see what he decides to put in for the 8th unit now. Is also on 59 gold. Gotta start making some decisions here. This 8 win streak is not going to keep going if Tuyohei does not make improvements to this comp.
Let me see. There's a Master Yi.
Yeah, putting that in. It's not great on its own with no other synergies right now, though. Decides to put the Janna in. It's still rolling.
What would you look for if you were him right now? What 1 unit could you put into this comp that would help out?
I might look personally to put 3 poison in. I might take out that Ashe and Janna and put in maybe roll for a Singe and a Mundo. I think 3 poisons at this point in the game are going to be very good, because if the unit gets affected by poison, it will take double the mana to be able to cast their ultimate.
Bento Bot's comp is looking really scary. It looks like he's going to just kill Tuyohei here.
The redemption on Skarner goes off, but
It
I don't
doesn't
know if
look
it'll be
good,
enough.
though. The electric is proccing so much and dealing so much damage with the summoner comp. A few more getting picked off, but that Skarner's going to go down, and that's the big carry for the roster of Tuyohei. That looks like it's going to be it for him, I think.
3 HP, 3 HP. A little deceiving because some of the summoners, a lot of extra units for those summoned units there, and they won't deal extra damage for summoned units, but yeah. Tuyohei has one more life. If they lose another round, it will be it.
Oh, he found a Mundo.
Yeah.
He might be looking for exactly what you mentioned, trying to find that 3 poison. Another Mundo, and there's a Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch is poison as well.
Not the singed you were hoping for, but still, it's going exactly with what you said. Going to grab that 3 poison, put him in.
Yeah. Still rolling. Wants to find another Mundo or is singed. Wasn't able to find it quite in time. Still rolling between rounds. Finds the Mundo
increasing
now.
the mana cost of the spells of the enemy could be very big for this Skarner, staying alive a little bit longer and pumping out the damage. Not looking good yet again for Tuyohei. The Skarner's just going to fall.
Yeah. Tuyohei running as far away as he can from the damage.
The light comp from TXN.
Yeah. Lights are one of those comps that you can roll for and be very, very strong once you hit those tier 3 units like that Vayne right there. Tuyohei and Bentobot actually go out. Tuyohei in 6th and Bentobot in 5th. So we have our top 4 already, with Rayditz still leading, but not by that much, 37 HP. DXN 22, Godant 15, and Kladeous at 11 HP. And it's the Dragon round.
Dragon round, we see a Thornmail for DXN. Very importantly, Rayditz, we just saw pick up a tier 2 Master Yi. So that's one of those pieces you were talking about earlier for him trying to find. He was able to pick that up. If we remember, he does have that Shadow Lux. So there's that synergy already, if he has that in.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be very, very strong. Master Yi at 2 stars, going to be outputting insane amount of damage here. There are 3 Sorakas on DXN's shop here. I personally like tier 3 Soraka, but maybe you need some items like a Seraph's Embrace for her to be able to really be valuable. Yeah, probably just going to use that gold to roll for the Yorick, Aatrox, and the Master Yi. Oh, and there's the Master Yi. Yeah. And I'm curious, I suppose he doesn't really have any items to the Master Yi. It just has to be the unit's raw power instead. Still rolling, trying to find that Yorick or Aatrox.
But he does have the Shadow Synergy, of course, which does make that unit deal increased damage.
Yeah. What's the on the Inferno Hex, at least? 30% attack speed. Definitely nothing to slouch at.
Yeah, and just that attack speed may be enough of a buff for that unit if it can keep the passive of Shadow up throughout the fight. But that is a much stronger Master Yi on the other side.
Yeah, it is. And that Yi got Zephyred. So same with the Kindred there. Those Zephyrs really getting value here.
Yeah.
The Janna and the Nami.
He just won't die. It's just continuing to pump out damage, barely staying alive with that lifesteal of the Bloodthirster. And that's so much damage. It's going to kill off DXN from high HP. Oh 20,
over 22 damage there. I think that was going to be like 26 damage in total. Wow, dealt by Rayditz. Yeah, that was Rayditz there. God, and falling, but lasted a little bit longer than DXN, so 3rd place will be gaining 2 points instead of 1 that DXN has. And now all of a sudden we have our top 2, and Rayditz is very, very strong. This might be over in another round, perhaps.
Oh, I just want to watch that Master Yi again. I'm ready to jump into the portal here and head to the fight.
I don't know. Both these compositions are very, very strong, actually. Got 3 Electric, 3 Assassin, 3 Summoner, 3 Inferno. There's so many synergies in the side of Kladeous here. And that Zed has near perfect items.
Yeah, we're watching the Master Yi here, seeing how much damage he can do. If he could find that first proc, he's going to try and heal himself up after the CC. A lot of electric damage coming out from the Zed, but Master Yi finds him, is able to kill him. He's going to get stunned as well. Zed putting out a lot of damage. All these electrics just pumping out massive amounts of damage onto Rayditz, and it looks like Kladeous is going to win this round unless the Yi can hang on a little bit longer, but no.
Can't.
Kladeous is going to get a little bit of damage back, trying to fight his way back for the first place. He's got so many synergies, as you said. And the electric damage just coming out so much from that Zed.
Oh man, yeah. There's There is no druids. I believe that is a bug, the visual bug, because there's no druids in for Kladeous here, but still, every other small synergy here is doing work. We see Rayditz here has a lot of synergies, but more completed ones. The 4 Mystics and 4 Shadows. 4 Mystics is, what is it, 120 magic resistance, I believe? It's a large number. And I believe I was watching someone do the math a couple days ago, and it probably reduces the enemy spell damage by about 50%. I'm not sure it's really going to matter here.
Okay, we're going to see the Yi again trying to get a lot of damage out. So far, having a lot of uptime, not being CC'd much. We see the Guardian Angel proc of Zed, but Yi's the last one left, and Zed is going to be able to get in there and deal all the damage he needs. Rayditz needs to find an answer. Is there anything that he can do here?
Finding a Lux 2 and hoping Lux 2 has a good ult? I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Lux currently myself, outside of just the synergies that she provides. It takes her a very, very long time to be able to get that 100 mana for her ultimate. She's gotten nerfed a couple times since she was first released on PvE. There's the Lux. Putting the Morellas on her as well. Lux is going to have to get a really huge ultimate here to be able to do enough work to win this fight. I'm not sure it'll be enough. We just have to get very lucky in this fight, RNG. Have to Zephyr the correct units as well. Scouting Kladeous to see where exactly he wants to Zephyr.
He's got the footsies on the positioning right now, trying to find the optimal targets for these Zephyrs. He's just got to find the position where this Lux ult is going to line up. He needs the stars to align for himself here. Moves both of them without checking there. So we'll see if he's able to get the proper Zephyrs that he wanted.
Zephyr Zed.
Get the Zed. That's huge. We're going to see how much damage he can get off while this happens. A stun goes on to Yi. He's stunned for a little bit there, but he's still putting out a lot of damage. Takes down the Tibbers. We're going to see Zed go into that Guardian Angel yet again, and that was enough for him to win this, and he actually wins it quite handily. That might be enough damage, and it is. He's going to put down Kladeous, and that's a first place in the first round for a defending champ, Rayditz, trying to hold on to his crown.
Rayditz coming out here strong, defending champion for a reason, it would appear. Wow, that was a very, very dominant performance. Had a good early game and was able to transition the composition to the point that he needed to, using that HP as a resource, finding that Master Yi to carry, finding pretty much everything that he needed to take this victory. Very, very impressive game 1 from Rayditz there.
Yeah, and we saw Kladeous with the second place finish. DXN ended 4th. 3rd, I'm trying to remember who got 3rd, because they went out the same round as DXN, right? Or top 4.
Yeah, God
Ant went out at 3rd. So really good top 4, good showing out of a lot of people we expected to see performances out of. Rayditz, DXN, Kladeous, all in the top 3. God Ant, a new addition. Glad to see him doing work, getting 3rd in that round. We'll see if he can continue to score some points, rack up those points, and push his way to a victory this week on Fight Night.
Yeah, definitely. And we take a look at the scores here. As we said, defending champion Rayditz, first place currently with 4 points. Kladeous in second place with 3 points. God Ant with 2, and DXN with 1. It's going to be time for these players who haven't secured any points to try to catch up in these next few games. There were a couple players who were very, very close, but I think we're going in right away to game number 2 here. And as always, everybody, don't forget to tip and to cheer for bits. It helps out everyone here. It goes to the bounty, the players who secure top 4, and to the cast and crew to help everybody out. So yeah, definitely consider doing that one. And yeah, we're going right into the game here. Carousel round begins. What will these players be going for? Not quite sure. We also see that it's a cloud map. You can actually tell on the carousel with what dragon is in the middle, and on the top where it says round 1-1 there, the little symbol is a cloud symbol there. So players might try to pick an item depending on that. You know, players might want to pick a glove or a chain vest because it builds into Iceborne Gauntlet, an item that is insanely strong, especially on the Cloud Hex map.
Absolutely. And why is that so strong on that cloud map?
Yeah, it's strong because Iceborne Gauntlet, what that item does is on a dodge, it will create a spreading attack speed slowing field for the enemies. And if you have an extra 20% dodge from that Cloud Hex, it just makes it that much easier for the enemies to proc it and have their attack speed be slowed.
Yeah, perfect. And really, I was going to ask you before, I was like, well, on the previous patches, we always saw recurve bow consistently being the best item to pick up. So I was going to ask you, what on the opening carousel, what do you really like to look for now? But getting that insight of like different hexes can lead to different items being good. It's actually so much more dynamic than set 1.
It is
a lot more interesting on the decisions that you would make in that opening carousel, other than just bow, bow.
Yep.
Bow. I haven't picked bow in a while, but I guess
I think bow's bow's not that great here, but I guess we'll pick bow.
Yeah, you know.
Definitely, there was a time where bow was the strongest, and towards the end of set 2, it was just swords everywhere because Giant Slayer was so powerful. But yeah, no, depending on the hex, on the element, it's going to make, say, like I said with the Cloud, it's going to make Glove and Chain Vest more powerful. I think on Ocean maps, getting a Shoujin's is going to be super strong. That it gives mana, and once the unit casts their spell, it's just you immediately start gaining extra mana with the power of the Shoujin's. Things like that just make it so much more, as you said, dynamic, and I think just fun, engaging. Different choices that be made depending on that. That's gonna be what separates, the good players from the great players, even here tonight in Fight Night.
Yeah, and so since we're on the Cloud map, we might as well talk about, are there any compositions that you think gain an added benefit from this dodge hex?
Well, a couple things. I think that mage comps might be pretty good here because mages cast spells. Spells don't care about dodge. That's not auto attacks. But more so, I think there's just some comps that you might want to stay away from on the Cloud map, like assassins. I mean, if your assassins are diving in, they're going to be pretty much all auto attacking. And if the enemy units are dodging, you're going to be getting a lot less value there. Same with just pretty much any auto attack based comps, maybe Rangers. I've seen players try to go, Sivir hyper carry. Even things like Master Yi, which are just very strong units, gain or take away a little bit of their value on maps like this. Actually, just this map specifically, I suppose, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. We saw Yi popping off in the previous match, doing just an absurd amount of damage. But if he ran into another hyper carry that was set up in a Cloud space, that might not have happened. He may have been able to be taken down instead and not be able to do nearly as much.
Indeed, it might make the difference. These, small little changes here to this map makes a big difference in the long run. Kymzi, we see with 3 lights already.
Yeah,
when a light unit dies, it'll heal all the rest of the light units and give them attack speed. I believe it is 10% attack speed for 3 lights and 25% at 6 lights, but 6 lights is pretty far away for now. We'll see if Kymzi decides to go on that route, though. Kymzi definitely looking to secure at least a top 4 finish this game after going out in the bottom 4 last game. A lot of options on the bench here. I wonder what she'll go for.
Gonna grab another Renekton here. Yeah, quite a full bench there.
A lot of pairs.
It's got 3 Woodland, 2 Druid here.
Yeah. Diana. Actually, a 2/2 Diana. I think, or even Diana is just the strongest 1-cost unit in the game, probably by far right now. So a really good unit to secure some early game wins. Godant still at 100 HP with a few other players. And we'll see if Godant is able to keep that win streak going, or start a win streak, I suppose. Only 1 win so far, looking to make it a win streak. Facing an Ivern Static Shiv. Not an item we see every day.
The king of the Shiv has
returned. Yeah, the Shiv king has returned. Kladeous loves Shivs in set 1 at the beginning. And then when they got buffed again, Rangers were stacking Shivs. But now making it once again on the Ivern here. Might actually win because of it. I'm not sure. It's close.
We'll see. If he gets one more proc. Didn't quite
get.
But the Kiana, they stacked up for that, able to do all that damage.
Yeah, overtime happened, increasing the spell damage, so now that Kiana ultimate just one-shot the units there. Pretty good. Got it with 20 HP. Or 20 gold, not HP. 20 HP would be very low right now, but 20 gold, a lot of gold.
Very unfortunate at round 2-3.
Yeah, a little bit. We see Kladeous here. Yeah, with that Kiana and some upgraded druids. maybe looking to go 3, maybe even Hyper Rolling Woodlands. I mean, that's already 5 Maokais and 4 Iverns. That could be the route, but 2 Kianas though. Kiana on this map is Cloud because the Elemental Hex is Cloud, so if Kladeous finds a Yasuo for 2 Cloud synergy, that's 15% extra dodge. It's very, very useful.
Yeah, that's just stacking up with the already getting the dodge from the hexes, so...
Yeah. It's not additive, it does, it is multiplicative how dodge stacks. But still, I mean, it's a lot of dodge.
Makes it slightly worse, but I think it's still
it's
overall
still
pretty good. And you don't necessarily have to put dodge on those units. You just add it to maybe a different unit. Give them dodge as well.
Yeah, for sure. And if you get in the Iceborns, you know, Iceborn with the Cloud Hex, with the Cloud synergy, the multiplicativeness, if that's a word, of all this map and all these items combined does add up to be pretty good. Definitely a lot of dodge. Let me see the carousel phase here. Rayditz and DXN, and Kymzi actually and DXN are tied for HP. Didn't quite see which one of them picked first, but a lot of items being picked up. Kladeous and Godant are the top 2, so they pick last. Both are going for that cloak, but Godant takes that. Kladeous settles on the sword, which wouldn't be too upset about. It's a 3-cost unit with a sword. Definitely not bad.
Yeah, what do you think? What was he looking to build with that cloak? Is he's got a chain vest here.
I'm not sure, but I forgot what unit it was on. Maybe he was looking for the unit? I don't quite remember what the unit was, but...
Shoot. Yeah, I was looking at the items mostly. I didn't even...
Definitely. I always look at the items, too.
I saw the item in the blue color. I was like, oh, 3-cost cloak. Great.
Yeah, that's pretty much what most players look for. Sometimes I even gotta, tell myself I really should look at the units a bit more, because maybe I actually need the unit. And I do sometimes, but, often... It's just that item that you're looking for, because you can roll units with gold, but you can't purchase items with gold. We see this Ivern in here, looking to do some work with that static Shiv again, facing DXN. So, first place versus one of the bottom here. Zyra plants being summoned, Kiana's doing work in the back, the Druids regenning HP. But DXN also has Druids and Woodlands of his own. Looking to be a bit more tankier.
Slow zone is massive from this Iceborn Gauntlet.
Yep.
Pick up a lot of the board already.
Iceborn Gauntlet, good item for sure. Slowing that attack speed, making it harder for the units to gain their ultimates, because whenever you attack a unit... Oh man, that was a lot of Woodlands there. Whenever you attack a unit, you gain mana. Yeah, what was that 6 of Maokais and 6 Iverns? That's that's a lot. Did level up to 5 though, so hyper rolling is going to be kind of doomed strategy, because usually you want to still be on level 4, because you have a higher chance to roll 1-cost units level 4 compared to level 5.
Jeez, and he just needs 3 of each. It's very close.
Very close. Very, very close indeed. Yeah, I'm looking at the numbers here. Level 4, you have a 50% chance to roll a tier 1 unit. At 5, it's 35% chance. 15% less chance to roll a 1-cost unit at level 5.
Do you think he'll still kind of go for it, though? He's gotten very close to those T3 units on the Maokai and the Ivern.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think since he went to level 5, that's probably not going to be the play. I know it still might be appealing, but it might just be throwing your money away into the void of not hitting units. So probably we'll just keep econing up here. If if Kladeous happens to, passively over time hit those units, then, great. But if not, it's not too big of a loss. The units are still strong on their own, as we see, defeating Tuyohei here in this round. Tuyohei is on level 4, though. But these units are still strong. You see Teebs here, actually, in first place currently, with Electrics and no other synergies. Has a Malzahar too, though. Malzahar is a very good unit. Probably looking to find another Shadow right now to complement that synergy there. But just the Electrics right now. And a Jeweled Gauntlet on the Volibear. I don't think I've seen that yet. This set.
I have not either. I have not seen that item at all. I don't know what it does, actually.
Jeweled Gauntlet allows spells to be able to crit. So if a Volibear happens to bite and it crits and kills a unit, then Volibear will instantly gain a full mana again and be able to do it all over again. Bite and maybe crit. But we will see. That is interesting. I'll have to keep an eye on that one.
I think it has potential to really pop off in a fight.
It definitely does. 100% has potential.
It also has potential to be completely worthless in a fight.
Very true. The stats, maybe. I mean, you get a little bit of just base crit from that item, and then you get a little bit of ability power because it builds out of a rod.
I like that though. That sounds really fun. I really want to see it pop off. I want to see, this Volibear just spam resetting crit bites is really what I want to see. That's all I want from this game. We'll see, we'll see if that can happen.
Maybe. It's definitely a possibility. I would like to see Teebs buy this Vigar and put the Vigar in for Shadow Synergy instead of the Druid Synergy, I think, but decides not to. I mean, Druid Synergy is not bad. Definitely that extra added HP regen is good. Dinah jumps onto the Mount Zahar, so might end up dying. Dinah's a very strong unit.
Yeah,
this Volibear,
just watching the Volibear.
Of
my
course.
eyes are glued to Volibear.
Oh, there we go. There's one bite. There's two. Oh, that was crit.
There's two. Wait, he didn't get the kill. Oh, it didn't reset. Oh, it must have been another auto attack from the unit, another unit that was next to it. Like he bit it down to like 1 HP and the auto killed. Okay, okay.
I mean,
that's a good start.
If it got the kill there, that would have been pretty nice. It would have been pretty special.
A lot of damage.
It did. I wonder what the Volibear damages on that fight were, but probably going to be probably the most damaging unit. I mean, Malzahar, I'm not sure if he would have outdamaged the Volibear, but Volibear looking pretty strong here. Looking pretty strong indeed.
Yeah, Kymzi on 4 lights.
The lights, yep. Yeah. Rerolling for those lights. A couple Nasus's away, a lot of Veins away though. 4 Veins away from a tier 3. Some good items though, Rageblade on Vayne and a Cloak which builds into Runaan's now. Runaan's doesn't take a spatula anymore. It is indeed a bow and a cloak. So looking to proc silver bolts on multiple people.
One interesting thing, I saw Jax earlier was using Counter-Strike from the game as his ultimate, which does dodge attacks.
Yeah.
Now, if you put an Iceborne on a Jax,
because
he's spread
a
lot of zone with that. So that plus on top of maybe putting him even in a cloud thing to give him more dodge and put an Iceborne on him, seems like pretty good strat. And I assume that's what Kymzi will look for this this Jax.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I think that Kymzi might prioritize items on the Vayne, but if she happens to get a glove and a vest, there's no doubt that that's where her items will indeed go. It's just a matter of what will you aggressively look for. Ooh, there's a Yorick and another Jax. Yorick and Soraka are the last 2 lights that she needs, so probably will look to go to 6 now, unless she really wants to roll for that tier 3 Vayne. It's a toss-up here. I mean, both could be correct. Still 4 Vaynes away though, so maybe leveling to 6 will be a bit more consistent with a power spike.
Just trying to get that power spike earlier as to not lose too much HP. She's already at 60, the lowest in the game. It would be a more consistent strategy if she already has that Soraka. She's just waiting for the EXP. Trying to get that Vayne. It's going to make it even harder to finish that Vayne, and getting that T3 Vayne is pretty important for this composition.
It is. I mean, I've had some success with light compositions, non-hyper rolling. They just end up making a light item and putting it on a unit like Master Yi, because if Master Yi is light and he's getting the attack speed from all the other lights dying, that is very, very strong. Master Yi also provides both of his synergies with Blade Master and Mystic are going to synergize with the Soraka and the Aatrox. Soraka being Mystic and Aatrox being Blade Master. So you're able to fit that in, and maybe fit a Kindred in as well. Kindred will give, Ranger buff to the Vayne and Shadow buff to the Yi. So a lot of overlapping things there that you want to look for in light comps.
Yeah, absolutely. We see a couple cloaks, a couple chain vests. We're going to see a pickup from Teebs. Going to go ahead and grab that needlessly large rod. Bento grabbing Giant's Belt.
Yeah, Cladeous back on top here. Is left with the tier. Doesn't want the 1-cost rod, but does indeed decide for a tier. Wonder what item he will make with that. Hasn't found any more. Oh, well, there's Maokai and Ivern. Speaking of, I think sold off one of the Iverns, but has kept the Maokais. And
Yeah,
has a Kiana
does seem
too.
he did.
Yeah, I wonder what item that Kladeous will look to make with this tier. Maybe save them for the Wolf round. Still at a very high HP number, so it isn't really hard pressed to make items to preserve HP here. Definitely has a little bit of wiggle room. Oh, Kymzi found that Jax 3, you see on the right side there.
Ooh, that's huge.
Yeah, that is very, very strong. Maybe we'll now look for that Iceborne. Found another vein as well. So 3 veins away. Yeah, I did grab a bow, so that rune ends that it was priority for her. Indeed. The Thresh Iceborne, though.
That's full items on the vein already, so now we may see her start to prioritize that Iceborne Gauntlet or some other item for maybe a different carrier, maybe for this tier 3 Jax, try and get him a little bit more stacked up.
Yeah, I wonder if she'll look to move Vayne out of the Cloud Hex to build another item, or keep Vayne on the Cloud Hex. I mean, that will protect against Assassins, which I know there was at least 1 player, maybe 2, running Assassins this game. Maybe they've transitioned out of them, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, Kymzi, pretty strong. That Jax dealing 3k damage and the Vayne dealing 3.6k there. Definitely a big power spike there for her.
Yeah, able to win that round, keep her HP trying to stabilize.
Yeah.
Down
And
to 51.
not utilizing the other Cloud Hex, though. I might be tempted to put the Yorick there or the Nasus. I don't think you need all of these units in front of the Vayne. Yeah, looking to put that Jax there, maybe. She's considering it. But we will see. I mean, definitely having a Zephyr in a Hex is big value, because an important unit will oftentimes be in that opponent's Hex, Elemental Hex.
Of course, yeah, I'd like to see her move into the Hex. We saw the same thing happening with the Inferno Hexes.
Yeah.
Which did make a little bit more sense at that time because she needed to protect her backline unit.
For sure, for sure.
Had to keep him there.
There's another Volibear, not with the Jeweled Gauntlet. It does fall pretty quickly.
I don't care about this Volibear. I want the other one. I want to see the other Volibear. I want the one, you know, with the resets.
Indeed, we can check back in with that one soon. Kymzi taking out DXN there.
Yeah, Kymzi is able to stabilize here, stay alive.
Ooh, another volley on the bench too. Volley 3? Volley 3.
Yeah, it looks like the Jeweled Gauntlet isn't working out too well because we do see teams losing around here to God Ant, but he is on top right now. So.
Indeed, yeah. There's the volley. Still with the spell crit. Maybe we'll dedicate some more items. Ooh, found the brand. Level 6 finding a 4-cost unit, a 2-star 4-cost unit. Pretty lucky, I would say, by the Wolf round. So maybe we'll look to play some Infernos or Mages. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, we'll have to check back in to see what Teebs decides to transition in the long term here.
Yeah, for sure. It's very interesting to get that so early. That used to be in set 1, obviously, was massive to get a brand 2 this early. Get a brand 2 in general with how popular Elementalist got. Very strong unit. Elementalist
was definitely popping off for the mid game for a lot of compositions, and even if you're running a demon brand, you know, used to be a demon, but now is an Inferno mage. Inferno synergy, 2 out of 3 right now. A lot of options here for Teebs, and it's really interesting to me seeing how players will decide to like what transition units they'll decide to build, because there's so many small synergies, which leaves the room for a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different units, and a lot are going to be good. It just depends a lot on what other people are going. So scouting is very, very important to see, you know, say your opponent is going, I don't know, all assassins, and you might not want, you know, squishy carries in the back. You might want to build clouds as well. So a lot of possibilities there. And Kymzi is now, as we see, on 6 lights. So even greater of a power spike here as she faces God Ant.
Yeah, it's looking very good for her here with the 6 light, definitely causing this Vayne to deal a lot of damage. But that Diana, tier 3, pretty strong, a lot of items, finally going to go into the GA, but the Jax is going to be able to pick up the rest of these kills. Yeah. Definitely looking good here for Kymzi. We see that Brawler's Glove onto the Jax. I think we know what item that is going towards.
Yeah, going towards that Iceborne Gauntlet, perhaps, if she's able to find a Chain Vest. Definitely gonna be the play there. Finds 2 Aatrox, so most of the units are upgraded, just not the Yorick. Just not the Yorick for now. but still a strong composition here. She's on a 3-win streak, looking to get into that top 4 this game, looking to win streak her way there. Checking with God Ant here. Yeah, 6 Infernos, tier 3 Diana. Did God Ant hyper roll? Probably rolled some, because being at a little under 40 gold, level 6 at this round, yeah, probably means that God Ant rolled earlier for that Diana. Is 1 Zyra away as well. So another player trying out this Hyper Inferno strat, but the difference is Godant is in first place this game. We saw Hyper Inferno was not working out last game, but yeah, hitting that 2-3 Diana with items, that's huge.
Yeah, I think that's a big portion of the success here. We're gonna go ahead and keep our eyes on her as well. Tons of damage comes out every time she pops that shield. Yeah. Keeps her alive for a very long time. Yeah, it might not be enough though. Still gonna be rock that.
Yeah.
Yet again. Yeah, I think the Diana is the key difference here for this 6 Inferno. Definitely seeming really strong, carrying a lot of these rounds.
Definitely.
We'll see if it doesn't fall off later on. It seems like it's already starting to struggle a little bit with some of these comps, even though it does seem like it is an accelerated composition. So we'll see what God Ant decides to transition to as this game continues.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna bring up a point, but I forgot the point. But boop bop. I don't know. They have a bunch of clouds on the bench there. The Kiana is cloud this game, and the Yasuo. So maybe looking to level up and put those in. Might want to transition away from the 6 Infernos, but I've already dedicated a lot of time to getting all of them. So might want to keep them with just going to level 7, level 8. Putting other units in. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Most other players are gonna be on level 6, if not level 8, or level 7, if not level 8 right now. We see Rayditz again, level 8 on round 4-3. So 6 units versus 8 apparently doesn't matter. Diana, she's pogging.
Oh, they stood all around her in a circle, which is exactly what you want to see if you have the Diana.
Yep,
gonna pop that ultimate off and rip those the AoE damage out, ripping the enemy team into shreds.
That's a 1-cost unit, by the way. That's a 1-cost unit.
By the way.
We got Angry Dwarf with the 1500 cheer. Thank you very much. Big appreciated. Let's get this bounty started. Ooh, there we go. 15% of our way to the goal for tonight. Thank you very much, Angry Dwarf. I'm sure these players are very thankful of the support, and so are we. We see the carousel phase now. Bentobot is also level 8. Some players starting to aggressively level. But Godant's still on 6. Same with Kymzi. The Hyper Roll players, they're at decently low HP right now. I mean, actually not too bad.
Yeah, 51. The 2 Hyper Rollers are on the top 2 spots right now.
Just kidding, not decently low. Actually, the highest. That's crazy. It's crazy how that works.
Top of the game here, but
yeah, usually players will be a bit more healthy at this point. It's like looking at a couple players. But no, everyone's kind of around the same HP threshold here. We got Kymzi at 51, and then, you know, 2nd through 7th, even 2nd through 8th is but a 20 HP nearly differential there.
Yeah, definitely so a pretty low HP game. That's a Crystal.
Yeah, Crystal Lux.
They're gonna get the synergy for Kladeous. He snap picked that up. He knew that's what he wanted.
Yeah, I guess so. Looked at the opportunity. Didn't end up. It wasn't able to move the Ashe in time. I believe Kladeous wanted to move the Ashe outside of that Cloud Hex to be able to put that other item on. But yeah, these units are only going to be doing 100 damage maximum to Ashe. Can't do over that with the Crystal buff. Same to the Lux there. Yeah, and it looks like the Ashe is, you know, it's only tier 1, but it's outputting a lot of damage right now.
Yeah, and he's 1 away from that 4 crystal buff as well.
4k damage out of that Ashe there. Even the Lux 1 did 2k damage, second most, I think, there. Yeah, so Lux got a pretty good ultimate, yeah. Usually I don't see that. Usually I see Lux just ult some random summon minion or just not ult at all. But there's the 4 crystal. There we see it.
I believe it's 40 damage max that you can take when you have
the 40 or 60? Pretty sure it's 60.
Because 40 sounds absurd.
Yeah, 40 is pretty low. I'm pretty fairly certain it's 60. But there's another Ashe. And probably will look to replace that Skarner eventually with a Taric. Taric's a very, very strong 5-cost unit. And this is not the unkillable Skarner as we saw last game.
No, not at all. It is 60 max damage, which still is incredibly low. especially if they can get these units up to higher tiers, T2, T3, they're going to have a lot more HP. And 60 damage, you're going to have to get hit a lot of times for that to take you down.
I've even seen some neat tech items with that synergy. Ashe having a Hand of Justice, so if that rolls healing, she'll be healing for about as much as she's taking damage, so can maybe theoretically live infinitely depending on how the fight's going. Yeah. But that tier 1 Ashe now, not quite doing enough. Really needs that tier 2. Really needs it. Another Malphite as well. Still has that Maokai in. Definitely looking to replace that Maokai soon.
Yeah, it is run his course. I'm assuming maybe at the T2 Malphite, he's thinking to put that one in.
Definitely. That is the route to go. A little bit of a reprieve here on the Raptor round. We see a few players low HP, 20 HP for Bentobot here with the Summoner, Inferno, Ranger, and Deserts. Teebs 22, Kladeous 23. Tuyohei 27. But Kymzi not far behind, only 6 HP difference from 4th and 5th place here, but that's the difference of getting points and not getting points. These players will have to start spending all of their money if they want to try to get into top 4.
Absolutely, definitely with this tournament format, wanting to play for that top 4, when you find yourself in a bind, trying to find the best way to just increase your rank ever so slightly can make all the difference in Fight Night.
Definitely. I think Bentobot's looking for a Singed here to replace that Kog'Maw. I wonder what else. Maybe a Yorick to replace one of those summoners. 3 Infernos at this point isn't that important. Yeah. Making some... Trying to see what decision is going to be best here. Decides to make the Zeeks on the Twitch, giving that attack speed buff, 15% attack speed, to the Cog, Azir, and the Kha'Zix.
Finding that tier 2 Malphite.
Yeah.
Get poison though. Might not be able to get its ultimate off. It does not.
Nope. That poison.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Master Yi as well in now. Didn't seem like it did too much there. Just the Ashe remaining with the Lux. Kladeous, like he's going to take quite a bit of damage here from
he's going to go really low.
Yeah.
Oof, yeah, down to 6 HP, Kladeous there. Gonna need to find that tier 2 Ashe, like, this round.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble down there. 6 HP to Yohei at 14. Couple people looking in danger of dropping out here. God Ant still holding on to that first place spot this time around. DXN sitting in second.
Yeah, DXN on a win streak as well. 42 HP. Second place. I mean, it's not too far from, 4th place. Less than 10 HP away. But God, yeah, 65 HP. Really strong right now. Kladeous uses all of the items. Really doesn't want to die here.
Yeah, we're going to see if he can hold on. He runs into Kymzi, who just got the T2 Yorick.
Yeah, with Thieves Gloves. And those are some pretty good items.
Yeah.
Trojan's
see if he can hold
GM.
on. Gonna be with that T1 Ashe is all he's gonna have in that backline, trying to pump out as much damage as he can. But this is a very tanky lineup of Kymzi. Lux getting a big ultimate, but it doesn't feel like it actually did that much damage overall. And Kladeous looks like he is going to go down here in 8th. Really not the game Kladeous was looking for here.
No, definitely not. Kladeous, I believe, was 2nd place in points. I had 2nd place last game. But an 8th here, definitely not where he wants to be. Didn't find that Ashe 2, unfortunately. Maybe that would have been enough. But Kymzi's light comp, very strong. Found that Master Yi as well. And even with this, I believe Zephyr hit the vein there, but it still didn't matter. It was just too much damage overall. Yeah, Dixon's on a 7 win streak now.
Yeah, his comp looks really scary. He's got that Scion, he's got the Volibear on the Cloud Spot with the Iceborne Gauntlet, as you had mentioned earlier on.
Yep, a few Berserkers, 4 Shadows, and that Olaf carry. Olaf having some pretty decent items there.
Yeah, Paraglacials, get those stuns out.
Yeah, for sure. Instantly glacials that target. Goodbye. Olaf ulting now.
Wow, the Olaf, here we go. A lot of damage coming out of him. He's definitely...
falls over to the Kiana, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, Diana trying to stay up and try and pump out a little bit of damage. Godin might be able to take him down here. It looks like he will. I'm pretty sure that Diana's just going to ult there. Yeah, a little bit of damage onto DXN. Going to stop his win streak. Godant going to hold on to the first place position, dropping DXN actually quite a bit more health than I was expecting. They're putting him down to 4th place.
Yeah, a couple players falling there. BentoBot 7th and 2Yohei also falling in 6th place here. Ooh, that's a force of nature. Teebs looking to grab that. Teebs on level 9 right now. Gonna have 10 units in on the board.
Yeah, that's a couple.
That's a couple more than these people on level 8 and level 7. That's for sure.
That's a few units out there.
Gonna see what she's gonna do with that. What synergies that she can fit in with 10 units to her comp.
In set 2, 11 HP. Low level synergies of just needing 2-3 units.
Yeah, I've seen people with like 8, maybe even 9 synergies.
We saw Kladeous with 6 or 7 in just the last game. He didn't have 10 units on the board.
Yeah, no, Teebs. All right, let's see here. Teebs with some shadows, electrics, mystics, blade masters, clouds. Now running 3 berserkers with that mundo. There's a singed. I guess she does not want that. Doesn't have other poison units. Also looking for a tier 2 kindred. Still has tier 1 kindred. One away from the Volibear, actually. The tier 3 Volibear with Jewel Gauntlet. The dream's actually alive.
Find it!
He just needs to win this round and then have another chance on finding it. I'm looking forward to that, actually. That tier 3 Volibear, I want to see it.
Got the Phantom of Kymzi. This is the light comp here. See if she can hold on. The light comp looking very strong. A lot of upgrades have come in for that. Zed in the back line trying to kill this Phantom Bane. It should be good enough to take down the Phantom.
Lights. Yeah, the light healing wasn't quite enough. Teebs is very strong right now, it seems.
Jax is a monster, though. Look at him go, but still gonna fall down eventually there.
Let's see, Master Yi did second most damage there. It's a Yi too. Doesn't have any items, but still, just being a Yi with 4 shadows and Blade Masters is very, very strong. The extended Rayditz falling in those rounds. Kymzi on a win streak. God Ant still on 65 HP. Been on 65 HP for a while. Very, very strong.
I just wanted to find this Volibear is all I'm looking for here. Just want that Volibear. Just want to see that go down.
Maybe. Don't believe she found it this round, but maybe she survives one more round. Have another chance.
One more round. Kymzi has 6 light, 2 mystic, 2 blade master. The Yi with a bunch of items, but it's just T1 currently.
Yeah.
Go up against the Phantom Army here.
I mean, Kymzi has 56 gold right now, so yeah, she has Kindred on the bench. Probably gonna look to put that Kindred in for Ranger and Shadow. But she doesn't need to right now, it appears, because she's still winning. These lights are really doing work here. Jax 3, Nasus 3. Doesn't quite have the Vayne 3. Still a few away from that, but guess it doesn't matter that much. Oh, Teebs though, no. Teebs falls that round. No. You don't get to see the volley 3.
We won't see the volley. It's unfortunate. It's really just unfortunate how they do this to me.
It really is. I was rooting for it too, you know.
As we see Youmuu's Ghostblade here, I guess. You know.
I guess.
Redemption on this dragon too, but you know.
Yeah, no Jewel Gauntlet Volibear.
I guess it's fine. It's fine. It's okay.
We see 6 assassins. Now, assassins are a composition that I alluded to wasn't the best on cloud maps because they're going to jump in and get their attacks dodged a fair bit of the time. Might be a reason why Rayditz is on 6 HP right now and has lost 3 in a row. Yeah, but has managed to squeak into the top 4, though.
Exactly what I was going to say. He made it into the top 4 with it. But not nearly as strong of a performance as we saw in the previous match. And it could be due to just assassins being weaker on this particular map.
Yeah, these items aren't particularly great as well, I suppose. You know, Zeke's is okay. The Locket, though, not really what you want to have on a Nocturne. I mean, it gives him a little bit of ability power so that his healing is a bit increased. But yeah, overall, Locket not a great item, I would say.
Yeah, and
just
Redemption
Nocturnes
probably wasn't exactly what he was looking for off that dragon either. He's going to probably want to put these items in regardless, though.
Yeah, let's put it on somebody. Maybe on the Kha'Zix to give him more mana. Maybe on the Zed. I'm not quite sure. Rayditz is trying to decide as well. Puts it on the Diana,
maybe.
Okay. Gives Diana some mana. No, Kiana. Honestly, I could see a few units there to put that on and have it be fine. The Zephyr is doing
Kymzi's
work on
light
both
comp
sides.
gonna be able to take down one of the carries, but will he be able to do enough to these dodgy boys in the front line, especially this Jax gonna be popping that counter strike? It looks like the beefy lads of Kymzi's comp are still being able to do enough to take down these assassins. Gonna need some major crits here in order to win this one, but the Jax is still at full HP. There's a couple crits in a row there. It came pretty close, but that's going to be it for Rayditz in this round, going out at 4th. Still going to get a point onto his tally. Pretty good for him. Not what he would want, but still, at the end of the day, making it into that top 4 is pretty important.
Yeah, especially with assassins.
Really strong right now.
Oh, definitely. Kymzi went to level 8. Indeed, put that Kindred in. Kindred granting 2 synergies with that Ranger and Shadow. Has an Aatrox upgrade in the shop. Gonna be Nicoing the Yi. I like that. 1 vein away. These veins, I would... I'm not sure if she should give up on this Aatrox. I don't know. Godant still has 65 HP. So, I mean, Kymzi has on a 6 win streak as well. As soon as DXN falls, which he might fall here, it's gonna really accelerate the pace of this game at the end.
Yeah, DXN. His Olaf doing his very best, trying to keep himself alive against these lights, but that's probably not enough, and DXN's gonna fall there. The light comp still proving to be very strong, but God Ant looking good as well in this game.
Yeah, God Ant.
Still win streaking. So now the Titans clash. Light versus Inferno.
It is a 7 win streak for Kymzi and a 6 win streak for God Ant, so they have not played each other in a little bit. Godant still 1 Zyra away, going for the Annie 3 maybe. Leveled up to level 9. What unit did Godant just put in on level 9? Maybe it was the Janna? I'm not sure. But either way, very, very strong composition. 6 Inferno, 3 Cloud, 3 Assassin, 2 Ranger. Still holding strong to those Infernos. That's not something I would consider to be, a first place comp, but Godant, really proving me wrong here.
Well, we're gonna have to see now that he finally goes up against Kymzi. The Diana being Zephyred in the corner, not being able to get any uptime right now. Finally starts hitting with the Master Yi, is putting out a lot of damage. She will take down the Master Yi. The lights are still alive, but they are getting burned away by the Inferno. The Nas is trying to stay up. Jax is gonna be the last hope here, but it looks like it will be enough unless Diana can get another shield off. May get 1 more out of this, but
Cylance.
Probably not enough. The Cylance from Soraka going to come out, and that's going to be some damage on the Godant, but that was closer than I
definitely was.
There.
I think maybe if Diana didn't get Zephyred there, if another unit did instead, then maybe Godant would have been able to take that round, but this is going to be close. It's going to come down to the positioning and what upgrades these players are finding. If Kymzi does find that tier 3 vein, what items they find on this carousel round and on the PvE round in a couple rounds with the Rift Herald. But Godant does indeed pick up a Dragon Claw. I wonder who he's going to put that on. Oh, just grabbed it for the Annie maybe, actually, because that's a tier 2 Annie on the bench there. Maybe looking for that tier 3, I suppose, still.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess he's pushing towards that, but he will be down an item. Takes up the Janna.
Double Annie Pog. Takes up the Janna. I mean, going from 2 clouds to 3 is only a 5% increase, so it's not that much. Maybe, though.
Tier 2 Annie might be a much better choice here. We're going to have to see Yi getting on the backline, doing a lot of damage. We're going to see what else he can do. Diana trying to stay alive. The Dianas who we're really watching, trying to see if she can put out enough. She runs into Jax a little bit earlier this time.
There's
gonna
2
get
Tibbers.
Disarmed. Is able to kill the Jax, but Diana's going to fall into GA. Kindred getting disarmed as well. This Vayne is attacking so fast and getting those disarms out, making it so that God Ant's comp is not even fighting back.
Yeah, these fights are still close though. Only 1 or 2 units remaining at the end, which means that the slow bleed out of God Ant will take a little bit. Oh man, Kymzi hit the Vayne 3 and hit a Kindred 2. Some really good rolls there. 1 away from Soraka 3 as well, actually. Did decide to go for the Aatrox, and there's Aatrox in the shop. I wonder if she will lock for that. We will see. 9 win streak now for Kymzi. These lights looking near unbeatable. nearly though, as these fights are very close.
Yeah, I'm trying
That's
to
a good
think what
Zephyr.
God Ant could do. Zephyr goes onto the Diana. Kymzi's going to
Yup.
be in really good shape. The
Yeah,
Jack's
Vayne
getting
free hitting
towards
from the
Diana
back.
as well. Vayne has been untouched. Diana trying to put a little bit of damage out, but this one's going to look like a wash. Going to be a lot of damage going towards our good friend God Ant here. Going to drop about 20 HP, maybe a little bit less than that.
The slow bleed out is not so slow anymore, as Godant took a lot of damage in that round. Nearly 20 damage, I believe. Another Dragon Claw, which is not very useful in this situation against the auto-attacking Vayne there on the side of Kymzi. She gets the 3-star Soraka as well there. Oh man, that's going to be such a huge deal. That Soraka Cylance, I believe, lasts for 7 seconds, up from 5 seconds at tier 2, I want to say. It's a long time. Yeah, the Zeke's there as well, actually, to buff this Vayne potentially. And Kindred and Jax. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely brutal. Should probably move the reposition in order to get that buff on those units that you just mentioned. The Zephyr slowing down the inevitable death of this Herald.
Yeah, it's always a little awkward when there's a PvP round like a Dragon or a Herald and then just sitting in a Zephyr for 6 seconds. It's like, yeah, come on, let's just carry on here.
She's going to go ahead and put that in. We'll see how the positioning changes to reflect this.
Yeah, just rolling for Aatroxes now, I suppose. That's the only thing she's going to really have time to upgrade here, unless she wants to go to level 9, but level 8 is where this composition really spikes. You don't really need anything at level 9, unless you just had infinite gold to be able to do so.
This looks so daunting for God Ant here.
Oh yeah.
So many tier 3 units. Master Yi at tier 2. I'm not sure if there's anything God Ant can do. I'm trying to think, but really...
Didn't move the Diana either.
Yeah, she's going to get Zephyr'd yet again.
That's a tier 3 unit being out of the fight for
really
6 seconds.
Out.
Tier 3 Vayne as well, disarming. These disarms. Oh man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you can barely even see the animation going on the Vayne. She's attacking so fast.
That's a lot of damage. Oh my god, yeah, that is it.
Oh. 28 damage. Oh my god, an absurd amount of damage. Kymzi started from the bottom, and now she's here. 8th place to 1st place, first 2 games. Polarizing player that's able to take that one down, getting herself really back into this. Definitely has a chance to bring it all the way back.
For sure. I mean, she got 4 points there for that 1st place. That was impressive. I was a little bit worried towards the mid game when she was rolling and was 4 Vaynes away from a tier 3, but just found those other great units as well, kept on, and eventually found the Vayne 3 to take the victory. Oh, these scores are getting pretty close here, Casa.
Yeah, it's a tight race. We got Rayditz with 5, tied with God Ant. And then right behind them, chasing them at the heels, is Kymzi, Kladeous, and DXN. Kymzi with 4, and Kladeous and DXN at 3. Seeing a couple people going to be fighting for those top 4 spots here at Fight Night.
Indeed. Very interesting. But I think we're going to take a little bit of a break before we get into game 3. It'll be a 5-minute one, but before we go, don't forget to keep on cheering. Cheer for the player that you want to see win. Cheer for the underdog. Cheer for whoever you want. It all helps out everyone here. The bounty, the top 4 players, the cast and crew here. It all helps. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to this week's HeroesHearth TFT Fight Night. We've had a couple of very exciting games to start things off, and we're looking to have a couple more going into games 3 and 4. Casa, how are you enjoying the games tonight?
Man, I would be enjoying them more if we got to see the volleyball pop off, but they've been really good so far. I'm excited to see more action with this new set. It's very entertaining. I love the diversity of comps we're getting to see, and a diversity of comps being very successful. So I'm excited to see what else these competitors can bring out in the final 2 matches. We got a very close race this week. Yeah, it's been good.
That we do. Speaking of this close race, if we could actually take a look at the scores for a second here. I want to kind of paint a little bit of picture of this story here. We have Rayditz got first place, then got fourth place in game 1. Godant getting second and then third. But they're still tied for points. Then we have Kymzi in second place right now, but had an 8th and then a 1st. So there's a lot of things here in terms of consistency, and then just players trying to just have these big runs, get these really strong comps, maybe these 1st or 8th kind of comps. And we'll see if they try to, pull these risky strategies off, like these hyper rolling strats, going for 1st or 8th, or just to play consistently, trying to get these top 4 placements. Both are seeming to work right now. These points are very close. It's just a matter of what these players are comfortable with and how they choose to proceed. And we do have another Cloud Hex here this game.
Cloud again.
Yeah.
So we will be looking for those Brawlers gloves and those chain vests yet again, trying to find those Iceborne gauntlets.
Indeed.
Iceborne in the previous game.
Good. Yeah, that they were. Actually, there wasn't as many Icebornes as I thought I would see last game. There was a couple, but usually I see a couple of Icebornes on a couple of players. So, if you pair up 2 Icebornes with that Cloud Hex, that dodge, that's going to be super strong. Maybe we'll see that this game. Maybe players just didn't get a lot of them. Last game didn't get a lot of those items. But for Kymzi's shop here, we see a pair of Vladimirs and a pair of Talias. Maybe want to sell that Syndra for them. Or just looking to go Ocean Mages. Ocean Mages, I think Mages are pretty good on cloud maps because you don't have to worry about dodge if you're casting abilities, right?
Right,
so
yeah, as you mentioned earlier, so a couple of Mages already being offered. We'll see if she decides to grab those.
Yeah. The Syndra, though, I mean, I'd be tempted to keep the Syndra with a belt because I think Syndra Morello's is very strong. She is an Ocean Mage. Started getting Ocean Synergy, but decides to sell it to grab that pair. Obviously, 2 units are very strong. So, no fault there, for sure. Yeah. Oh, does get a little bit of money, though, so could have kept the Syndra, theoretically.
Yeah, could have hung on to it, waited to see what she was going to get for selling.
But picking up a pair of Skarners as well. Maybe going to be looking to go into some Predators with that. We'll see. A pair of Talias here for Rayditz as well.
Options with all those pairs, seeing what she leads into, see what T2 units that she finds.
Definitely.
For Rayditz, as you said, a Mundo being offered. I'll pick that one up.
Yeah, there's a Sivir as well. Could have early Desert Blade Master with a Renekton Sivir Yasuo. Has a bow for the Sivir. I'd be tempted personally to do that because one of Sivir's greatest counters are assassins, but it is a cloud map which does dissuade players from picking assassin. But Rayditz does decide to go for the Mundo instead of the Sivir, so we're not going to be able to see that, at least not right now. But yeah, I've been curious to see how that route would have gone. 2 deserts reducing enemy armor by 50%, and Blade Masters having a chance to proc an extra auto attack. Could have been strong.
Yeah, and so he's got the pair of Berserkers out there right now, hoping to potentially find an Olaf, potentially find Poison, or maybe just kind of throwing in a couple strong units for this early game, try and hold on to some HP. That's an Iceborne. Iceborne right there.
That's all I like to see. Yeah. Definitely, and a couple upgraded units as well. DXN with a strong start here, it seems.
Yeah, on that Cloud Hex as well.
Definitely, we see.
Get those procs going. Tier 2 Vladimir on the side of Teebs.
Yeah, Tier 2 Vlad, pretty strong unit early. I'd say one of the better mages early game. That Nasus, though, ulting, gaining HP, gonna be going to town here. Will the Vlad healing be enough? Don't think
We'll
so with
see
the
if he
Ivern
can
supporting.
proc once more. He's dodging quite a bit, getting pretty fortunate
Yeah.
with that.
RNG.
Can he get off first?
Ooh,
Does
the Ivern
comes
shield.
out. Yeah, and that looks like some HP is going to be gained back onto the side of Nasus, and he'll be able to take him down. But it's a lot closer than expected there. If that transfusion came out just a little bit earlier, that might have been enough to take down the Nasus.
Indeed. 10 gold as well for DXN there. So already starting to make some money. You know, you gotta have money to make money, TFT, you know, just like real life in that sense. But, you know, gaining additional econ early is very, very strong and scaling into the mid portions of the game. After Krugs, players usually level to 6 and then look to roll for upgrades, so having more money to roll at that point will be very, very strong. Bento bot deciding to keep a tier 1 unit in over the tier 2 Ivern, the Jax and the Vayne. I know the Vayne does have Rage Blade. The Jax does fall before getting ult off, so maybe the Ivern would have been a bit better there.
Yeah, the Jax falls much too quickly.
Okay.
See if the Vlad can do anything.
Kill
Probably
one.
kill the one unit though, and not much more. Bento bot gonna lose a little bit of HP.
Also on 10 gold though, making some money. A lot of players are, it seems. Godant as well. Players who level to 4 though probably don't. It is interesting because some players will choose the first couple of rounds to level up to level 4 to have that extra unit in. It's going to be slower for them to start, you know, making econ, making those 10, 20 gold thresholds, but it does give them a power spike, which will make it more make it easier for them to, you know, preserve 100 HP.
Yeah,
and win streak.
That win streak as well. Yeah, as you're mentioning there, get that win streak, able to hold on to a little bit more gold, and that way econ that way, but maybe a little bit riskier as far as the econ side, because you can run into people who also went to 4. And if you lose, then that's a bit of a waste, right? But still, strategy working out for some. Able to level up to 4, get a little bit of value out of that. Kymzi got a lot of money on her bench right now.
Yeah.
Who cares?
That is an expensive bench. I mean, there's some good units. There's, you know, the LeBlanc, because she already has a LeBlanc in there. There's a Scion, a couple of Skarners, a couple of Warwicks, you know, those Predators. A lot of options here. Generally at this phase, I like to have at least 10 gold. Sometimes you can make it to 20. But, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully she's able to hit some of these pairs. Or maybe, you know, get another Sivir or Scion. She's going to win the round, I believe. Yeah, that Vladimir can't quite do enough.
No way this Vlad is able to kill the rest of them here. Well, yep, he's going to go down to the Talia ultimate ability. Kymzi not selling anything off her bench, staying at the 2 gold, might hang on to that, try and look for a couple more of those pairs.
Maybe. You still might sell here, because you can sell during the carousel phase. If you go back to your board, just press E over the units. You can indeed sell them. So maybe she remembered how much gold she had and how much she needs to make. I suppose it depends on what unit she's able to find as well. She is picking last here. There's a Sivir available. That would be a pair of Sivirs for her. With a belt. Not the best item. DXN does steal that away. Steals the glove away. Yeah, Kymzi picks up the Sivir. Isn't deciding to sell much here. But has it on the board. I mean, could be 5 out of 4. Could play this.
Yeah,
it is possible.
Might be the way to do it. Trying to keep that extra unit in. See if that advantage can help win her the round. Probably won't leave it there for long. No, goes ahead and sells it already.
Yeah, now these items are a little, they're interesting. I might consider making Warmugs. You could make a Redemption as well. You could probably don't want to make a Morello's yet. Morello's isn't really that great for any of these units here, as all their spells will just work on 1 unit. But yeah, does decide. I think she's actually putting out in separate units. Yeah, just wants the extra HP for now. Gonna decide what to do with those items a bit later on. Puts the tier on the Talia. Doesn't want to make Ludens yet as well, so just wants a little bit of power spike without committing.
Yeah, just the tier. It's probably not going to help too much. Going to lose a lot of HP here. Obviously, it's early on, so not too much HP, but not killing off many units at all during this round. Going to take a decent chunk here, drop her quite down to 85, almost 10 damage in an early round.
Indeed, a little bit. She drops to 6th place there. But it's still the early game, so there's still a lot of wiggle room. You got a lot more HP to work with. HP is a resource in this game. Godant hitting a couple of the pairs there. I wonder if Godant will decide to put this Warwick in. There's a tier 2 unit. We'll have to either take out an assassin to get rid of that synergy, or take out the Renekton though, which would be much better. But 30 gold,
yeah,
pretty good right now.
Getting that extra power from the early T2 might be overall worth. Could potentially, yeah, it would. It is the assassins currently. He would be losing a synergy. Might overall not be that good for him.
It's close. See. It's definitely close. I think personally I might value the tier 2 unit over the assassin synergy, but I definitely I'm not going to fault Godant for this. I think this is very, very fine of a play.
And it looks like
it's working out here.
Quite a bit of damage. The Diana T2, we'll see if he can get it to T3, as we saw how much work that unit can do.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all the units did damage, a lot of damage there. The LeBlanc, a little bit lacking. That's the unit I would have replaced if I were to. But still enabling the other assassins with a bit more crit and a bit more crit damage seems to work out there. Isn't buying the Talia. Has the Talia on the left side, which probably means that he's going to sell it. Yep, does so right there. And now the Krug round happens. I wonder if players are going to be looking to hyper roll here. If we can, I suppose, quickly scroll through all the players here
during this round. Money.
Yeah, we see Rayditz level 5 already, so not going to be looking to hyper roll. Diegsen, level 5, 50 gold, not looking to hyper roll, but still is very, very rich. See Teebs here with some Predators, level 5 though, so probably not looking to hyper roll. But a pretty strong composition here. Bentobot, level 4. This could be a hyper roll. It could be. There's already some lights, so maybe some light hyper roll in the future there. Kladeous on level 5 with some Woodland Druids. Not hyper roll, but still very strong. And 2 Yohei here, also level 5.
Yeah, Ventus,
gets a repeating crossbow there. Interesting. That's an item we haven't seen yet. And probably for good reason. I personally think that the item is a bit underrated, but yeah, the way the item works is that once a unit that has the item dies, it will jump to another random unit you have and have an additional 30% crit and 30% attack speed. So if, say, it's on Nautilus here, and it dies, jumps to Jax, and the Jax dies, and it jumps to a Vayne or a Varus, it'll be extra 60% crit and attack speed. So it's pretty good in that sense, but it is inconsistent. It could jump to useless units that can't really utilize that as well. It's definitely a hit or miss item, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It is an interesting item at that. That is a very fun item, though. We'll see if we can get some value here.
But hey, the game decided to give it to him, so you gotta play it at that point.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Gotta make it work.
Nautilus getting pushed away by the Talia, gonna stay alive a lot longer than he'd want. Here he comes.
Yeah.
Putting out a pumping DPS on his Nautilus right now.
I mean, hey, maybe Nautilus isn't gonna fall here. Okay, falls.
Okay, finally
jumps to the Nasus.
He's gonna keep putting out damage. I mean,
wins anyway. I mean, strong units there, a lot of upgraded units.
Clearly, won due to this repeating crossbow. Insane item. Definitely best item.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I do think that players will start utilizing the item a bit more, especially with summoners, because the repeating crossbow will actually jump to summoners or to summoned units, and if they die, it could jump to another summoned unit, and then by the time that all the summoned units die and it gets to like a carry, it can have like 14 or 15 stacks or something, which can get somebody up to that 15 or that 5.0 attack speed cap very, very quickly. And also the summon units will just smack as well, like Yorick summons, Malzahar summons. They all do a pretty decent amount of damage, especially with the repeating crossbow. Okay, DXN rolling here.
That definitely seems like an interesting thing to test out. That would be very cool to see.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope that we can get that at some point.
DXN looking to go summoners here, I think. Couple of Yorks and Annie on the bench. Also looking to go 4 shadows, I would assume. 3 in right now. Still those druids, though.
Yeah,
for a little bit of that
for
tankiness.
His Master Yi to get that 4 shadow.
Yeah, either Master Yi or Vigar, I think, is the one that I didn't have. So you can go 4 shadows without Yi, but Yi is very much preferred. Definitely much preferred. That Renekton. Ooh, that's a tanky boy. Yeah.
Beefy lad there, that Renekton. Getting a big heal off of his ulti there that called him Meek.
Yeah. Oh, I love you have this experience with all the ability names. I don't even know them, but you can carry that department.
Easy.
Oh man, we see Godant here with a lot of pairs. Wait, is that a alright. Not hyper rolling. But a lot of maybe hyper rolling? I don't know. A lot of Diana's there. A lot of
Got a couple. He's
yeah,
got a few.
Got a couple for sure.
Got a couple Dianas there. Yeah.
And the beefy Renekton probably will end up moving those items over to something else later on, but is playing it for now as we saw how strong it was last round in this early, just maybe bridging into the mid game soon. I suppose after Krugs, yeah, it's kind of like the start of the mid game starts. Godant facing Bento Bot here. Bento Bot also on 5. Yeah, it looks like Bento Bot did roll for those lights. Has light item as well in the Yasuo.
It pays off. That's a lot of damage from the Aatrox. It looks like the lights are doing work, but that Coldamik again from the Renekton. Jack's Counter-Strike trying to keep him up, but there's going to see another one from the Renekton trying to heal. It's going to come down to this Jax, really, because this Renekton is a beast. Can the Jax take it down? It's getting into that Earth mode, essentially, and Coldamik can kill off the Jax.
Yeah, the Jax was counter-striking. Renekton just slashed his blades, so I don't care about that one. The Coldamik there, taking out the Jax, winning the round. As we see Carousel phase. Bento Bot already under 50 HP. 48 currently, picking first, as well as Teebs there. Rayditz scouting a little bit, seeing what item or unit that he wants. Is at 87 right now, currently first place. Rayditz with another strong start here to this game. Looking to get a first place.
For the Janna. Grabs the $4 sword.
Yeah. That's going to be... what item did he have? Did he have a belt? Or...
I missed what he had.
Not quite sure. I'll check it out in a bit. Rayditz... had a vest. Had a vest. Might make the GA. Might save it. Another Janna here, though. Maybe gonna put some clouds in. Rayditz reading the ability. I mean, I already have 2 clouds. I suppose 3 is not really that much better. Again, it's only a 5% increase from 2 clouds to 3, going from 15% to 20% dodge. Rayditz looking pretty strong here. Looking to keep that win streak going. Already at 3 right now. Has 3 summoners as well. With a Yorick, Zyra, and Malzahar. Facing Kladeous here. Kladeous has some steel units, has some deserts as well, some blade masters, but it's really just not enough for Rayditz's comp here. Yeah, Rayditz is very, very strong. Did end up making the GA on the Mundo there. That Mundo is pretty good unit.
Yeah, he's got the Mundo with the Zeeks and the GA, popping that adrenaline rush, trying to get all that healing.
Oh yeah, they had a nerf Mundo's healing. It was so strong. I believe they nerfed him around a week ago or something before the patch on PBE came to the live servers. He was very strong. I saw Mundo's literally 1v9ing that just couldn't be killed because the healing was so ridiculous. Tuyo Hey here with some lights, not hyper rolling. At level 6, 50 gold.
He's got the repeating crossbow with all those lights, so when they're dying off, there's all these buffs coming out to the rest of the lineup. By the time it's reaching these later units, it's gonna
I kind of like that. Up. Put the Soraka in the front. It says, Soraka, you are the sacrifice. You are the repeating crossbow holder. Good luck out there. Maybe you get 1 ulti off. Didn't look like she did there.
Past the Jax.
Yeah, past the Jax.
He'll get some good use out of that, even with just the 1 stack. That'll be pretty good on him. It's gonna go to the
2 stacks
Nasus.
And then 3 stacks right now on Nasus. He's making use of it. Going to the vein. Look at how fast his vein stack.
There we go. All right, here he goes. Here he goes. Oh, if only he didn't actually ulti, he might have taken that down.
Yeah, if he just autoed and not ultied, it probably would have won that. I agree. But either way, you can see a little bit of the power there. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough. But Tuyo Hey still is in first place. I mean, hey, repeating crossbow, I said it was underrated for a reason. He's in first place with it, so...
Yeah, exactly. I think entirely due to that item that he is in first place. Couldn't be anything else at all, actually. The only thing I can think
so either.
Could be causing this is this item. It does have a pretty strong comp with the lights, looking for that 6th light Gonna have to find it. Well, actually, he needs the 5th and 6th currently. Only sitting on the 4th.
I think BentoBot had the light item made. BentoBot was hyper rolling, I believe, for those lights. A little bit of contention in the units there. Yeah, BentoBot still pretty far away from the Vayne 3, unless there was another Vayne in there that I didn't see. I'll have to keep a lookout on this. The Yasuo got sold. Light item on the bench. Yeah, no, still a lot of Vaynes away. But it is winnable. Just needs to put 1 unit in with the light thing, and we'll have the 6 light buff. Looks like it's gonna be the Kindred, which does give Ranger buff as well to the Vayne. So it's not bad.
Yeah, an extra buff still, as you said, 1 light away. There's the light item, and there's 6. So...
yeah, definitely. A lot of, the Raka is tier 2, the Aatrox is as well. Pretty far away from any tier 3s, though. It's kind of unfortunate for BentoBox here. Those rolls did not really treat him well, or as well as they could have. Facing Kladeous here. Kladeous with some Assassins and some Deserts. They're mostly tier 1, though. Will it be enough? Vayne doing work, the Jax doing work back there as well.
Vayne putting out a good amount of damage.
Yeah.
But that's light. There we go. He's got the 6th light. That's the power spike that Bento needed, and he's going to start winning some rounds, bringing himself back into this game. We saw light do so well with Kymzi in the previous game, so
yeah.
Yet again, light performing pretty well once you get to that power spike.
Oh, definitely. I mean, hey, maybe some players were like, hey, that strategy worked out pretty well. Maybe I should try that. But if too many players do that, that's where you get into some issues. If too many players are rolling for the same comp, it is much harder to find. Excuse me, find those units. But looking to put Thieves Gloves on the Scion. It does pop off if you're sitting on a Cloud Hex. So yeah, a little mechanic there. If you have a unit with a glove, you can put on a Hex, put another glove on, and it'll pop those gloves off. But turns out DXN actually wanted the gloves there. So moves the Scion to the side. For now, at least.
Yeah, we'll see what the this comp can do out of DXN. The Foreshadow looks like a lot of damage. Oh my god, the Scion.
Yep.
Massive decimating smash there. Gonna pick up some kills.
Yeah, look at that Scion damage.
Those resets.
3,077. Yeah. Scion's, huge. I think, one of the most value units in this set. Only 3 costs, but as you see here with Foreshadows and as a tier 2, he can decimate pretty much like half the enemy team in 1 strike there.
Oh, he's going for a quick jog in between rounds as well.
Yeah, those Thieves Gloves. You gotta stop with the items real quick. Gotta head to that random item store. But another tier 2 Scion on the bench. So looking to go for a tier 3 Scion. That's gonna be scary if he's able to pick that one up. A lot of damage. Tier 3 does 600 damage, up from 400.
And yeah, crazy. Plus, it seemed as though it was increased by the shadow buff, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Because the last smash did 600. So 600 base, if you've got the Foreshadow, that's going to go up to quite a bit of damage there.
Yep, 1200. Every unit does have a little bit of base MR. But still, it's going to be an insane amount of damage if the tier 3 is achieved.
Again,
near 700 damage there.
Slam coming out, but it looks like these Infernos. Yeah, these are another. Look at this again, a tier 3 Diana. Go ahead and doing quite a bit of work.
God Ant. Tier 3 Diana with Infernos doing work. Yeah, taking a decent amount of damage. Through DXN there. And we see, unfortunately, Teebs is 8th place this game. A little bit of a struggle there. Oh man, it feels really bad going 8th before this carousel even. So not quite what she was looking for there. A little bit unfortunate, but we still have 7 players remaining here. Kymzi, the next lowest with 27 HP. Have to scout and see what she is up to after this carousel. DXN doing a lot of thinking here. What item he wants? Takes a sword.
Decides on the sword.
Yeah,
see what he can build out of that.
I'm curious. Is he going to make a gunblade with the sword and the rod, or save it for the Raptors round? I mean, still at 66 HP right now, so not really hurting in terms of HP here. Oh, we see 4 desert composition from Kymzi here. That's interesting.
We haven't seen that yet.
No,
this
we
is
haven't.
the first time we're seeing a desert composition coming out of anybody. That's the armor reduction for the enemy.
Yeah.
With 4, that's going to be 90%. So
yeah.
a lot of damage can come out of a composition like this, but definitely interesting to see. I'd love to see how it works out, as we have not seen that yet.
I'm curious. I haven't seen many 4 desert compositions from other people. I have played one once, and it didn't really perform that well. So I'm curious to see if Kymzi can really make this work here. Maybe the cloud map will discourage assassins, again, as I said earlier, and then the Sivir will be able to carry. We will see. Yeah, DXN did make the Gunblade right there.
Yeah, we see this Iceborne all over the map already.
Oh yeah,
stopping the Sivir from doing as much damage as she would probably like to be doing, and that's going to be a lot of damage going down onto Kymzi from TXN. Very strong, sitting in first place right now. Very powerful composition, finishing that Gunblade recently.
Yeah, Kymzi's close to a few upgrades. So maybe once she reaches the upgrades, then she will be a lot stronger. We see Yohei here with a lot of tier 2 units on the bench there, looking to get the tier 3s, but 3 away from all of them there, it looked like. Scouting a little bit, scouting the other light player. Yeah, 2 light players. It's going to be hard to get those 3 stars. Very, very hard. Repeating crossbow on Soraka is in the back now. Upgraded her and it's like, wait, I don't want her to die instantly now. I want to get some value out of that unit.
Yeah, and that's going to be unfortunate. He's not going to get a lot of value out of the item anymore.
No.
Guess he's hoping that this Soraka can get off an ulti before dying, trying to get that Cylance down. But this Yorick is doing a lot of work spreading that frozen gauntlet all around the map. Both Yoriks actually spreading it.
Yeah,
pretty much
repeating crossbows on both sides here.
Yeah, we're gonna see if this repeating crossbow. Oh yeah, it's spread twice already. So this Kindred is pumping out a lot of damage. That's gonna be the first spread. This Kindred's not gonna have nearly as powerful of a crossbow.
Only 1 stack Kindred to a 2 stack Kindred. I mean, clearly the 2 stack Kindred's gonna take that one down. Also had a few other units there, but I mean, it was basically the crossbows.
No,
right?
it was really just the crossbows, actually. Yeah. The rest of them didn't matter. It's just the crossbows.
No, just the crossbows.
Yeah, going into chicken round, we'll see if anyone can build more crossbows here. And see.
We will see. Okay, some more clouds here. 3 clouds and an Iceborne. So that might be Kymzi's saving grace here. Going into the next rounds, I mean, she's on a 5 loss streak though, so it's gonna be a bit rough. Decides maybe to go for the 3 assassins instead of the 3 clouds. Again, 3 clouds isn't that much better than 2, but definitely needs some good items here to be able to make a comeback. Probably won't have enough gold to get to level 8 either, so level 7 is really this power spike. Gonna need to be what she finds the power spike on. Okay, she got some items. She could make a disarm item or red buff, and I think putting that in Sivir is going to be her best choice right now. Also finds that Nocturne 2-star, so probably will end up keeping that in.
Did quite a bit of work in the last game, but that was on that like capped attack speed vein with the Runans. Sivir can spread the auto attack as well with the ricochet, but we'll see. Maybe the red buff, getting that extra damage, can be better. It looks like that's what she's going to go for, is the red buff in the end.
Yeah, making Ionic. Ionic is not a bad item either. Probably going to put that on, I don't even know, Kha'Zix or Nocturne maybe for the extra ability power. Gonna put it on the Yasuo though. Yasuo might die pretty quickly though, so not going to get a lot of Ionic value there. The Sivir is surrounded.
Drop pretty much immediately. The Sivir again on the attack speed slow, feels like it's not doing really much of anything, and Kymzi's gonna end up dying here, falling into 7th place this time, falling from 1st last time around. Bento has gone out as well at 6th.
Yeah, now DXN is 1 Scion away from tier 3. Maybe we'll achieve that soon. But yeah, going back to Kymzi's comp there, and going back to the fact that this is a cloud map, these auto attack carries don't get quite as much value, and that combined with the Iceborne gauntlets, it was multiple fights in a row where Iceborne was slowing the attack speed of Sivir, just wasn't able to do quite enough. Inferno Lux there, but yeah, that's probably not going to be picked up.
Yeah, not the one that they're looking for here, trying to find maybe a different variation of the Lux.
Kladeous, however, does have a somewhat similar composition to Kymzi, but is level 8 and has 4 Blade Masters, only 2 deserts, And a
Yeah,
couple electrics here.
the Zed very stacked with the electric buff as well, doing a lot of damage. Getting a few crits there and pretty much ended this fight immediately. But Diana actually, I may have spoken as the Diana wipes about like 90% of the board, actually gonna probably win this.
Kiana,
no. Diana suddenly turns it around. And this Phantom takes down Kladeous.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. That was crazy. The Diana killed like 6 units instantly there.
1 cost unit, by the way. Pretty strong. Pretty strong 1 cost unit there. I think we'll definitely be seeing some Diana nerfs in the future before rank comes out in patch 9.23. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. DXN did pick up the Inferno Lux, actually. I stand corrected. So going down to...
Inferno.
Yeah, 2 Shadows, 6 Inferno. Is this Inferno going to be worth it? I don't know.
Well, we'll see. He does have that tier 2 brand, the tier 2 Kindred. We'll see what else he can find to get any value out of that. Going against God Ant right now, we'll see what he can do. See if this Diana is going to pop off yet again. Going to already kill off 1 unit, looking for the second one. The Scion in the front line. We'll see if this Decimating Smash can hit multiple units. No, just on the Diana and not even going to kill her. She's still pumping out damage. Kindred trying to kite, not going to do enough. We've got a lot of summons trying to put the damage down, but no, it's just going to be Diana.
Remains once again.
Yet again, the sole survivor, the Diana.
Ooh, Force Nature. I see Force Nature a lot on this carousel. And the player in last place is able to pick that one up. Gets a huge power spike. Yeah, that's pretty much always taken first. Having an extra unit on this patch is very, very strong.
Yeah, with all these small synergies, definitely a huge pickup for Kladeous. And we saw him utilizing the small synergies very much so in the first game, having a lot of different options on his board. So we're going to see yet again what he can do with this Force of Nature.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe
check him out. 8 of 9. See what he wants to put in. He's looking for another Master Yi. He's got 2 right now. Looking for the third. Not a lot of gold. Gonna throw in a Kindred. Get the Shadow buff. Did not have that before. So that's a pretty big pickup, especially if he can find this third Yi.
Doesn't find it though. Only has 5 more gold. So if he rolls, he'll have to lock instead of picking it up. Needs to find some Zeds as well, though. Only has the 1 Zed so far. But yeah, we see 7 synergies here. Blade Master, Cloud Assassin, Mystic, Electric, Desert, and Shadow. The Kladeous utilizing all of these. Found the tier 3 Sivir.
Yeah, we'll see if he can win this fight going up against God Ant.
Oh, the John appealing.
Sivir doing some good damage.
Yeah.
Actually getting value on this side. Diana seeing if she can wipe the entire board yet again. Maybe we'll see it, actually. She's getting her ult off.
No.
Not quite. No. Not even close. Kladeous able to stay alive. He's stabilized as well, trying to see if he can find those units that he needs. 1 more Yi and 2 more Zeds would be the big pickups for him. 21 hit points.
Huge pickups. Also looking for a couple Kindreds, maybe, as well. That's put a Scion in instead. Maybe just seeing which one that he's able to find the 2-star of first. But going back to the last fight, I think the Janna ulti pushing back and stunning that Diana probably saved the fight. Because if Diana was able to run towards that Sivir and take her out earlier, might have had her win the round because of that. But good supporting from the Janna there. ADC and support next to each other.
Yeah, there we go. Doing a lot, getting that Monsoon, pushing them away. Now let's see, watching the Sivir again, a lot of damage. The Sivir Hypercarry does not seem that bad when it is not getting its attack speed perpetually slowed, getting knocked out by the Decimating Smash, but still already pumping out far too much damage.
Over 10,000 damage by Sivir there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That Sivir slaps. Giant Slayer?
Different for sure.
Giant Slayer, Runeance, and Red Buff. Now, I think Giant Slayer was changed from set 1. It now does not deal true damage. It deals physical damage as well, so not quite as valuable. But with the Runeance and the Sivir 3, Desert buff, and the Red buff, all these things adding up, Sivir's carrying.
It's knocking out 90% of their armor anyway, so it's practically back to the true damage. It's obviously not quite as good, but 90% reduced armor is...
He doesn't have 4 deserts. That's 2, so it's 50%.
Oh, I thought he was at 4. Okay.
No. I think Kymzi. Yeah, Kymzi had the 4 from earlier.
That's right.
Kymzi had
Kymzi
the
had
4.
4, but her Sivir could not attack. So
The ice
that was the
wards.
difference there. But still, 50% reduction, pretty good.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Still good. Not quite to that true damage zone, but still very, very good amount of damage coming out.
Yeah, that's interesting. I actually wonder if maybe a couple Giant Slayers and Runeans with 4 Desert Comp. I'm theory crafting here, and my brain's it's just going now on this.
It would be essentially true damage, so that's, I mean, pretty strong. It's just a matter of if those desert units are good enough. The Azirs so far has seemed kind of underwhelming. Renekton seems pretty good early game, but seems to fall off pretty quickly. And then you'd also have to have a Kha'Zix as well.
Kha'Zix is a good unit.
Assassins, though, tend to not fit exceptionally well into comps where you're just looking to defend a hyper carry. It's not horrible, but it's not horrible. Exactly what you're looking for.
If it's just the one, like I don't think you would run 3 assassins, but just having the Kha'Zix and maybe put a Seraphs on him, he does a lot of damage just by himself, even without the assassin buff. But yeah, I might try that eventually. But anyways, we see 2 Yohei here with pretty close to the Nasus 3 and the Jax 3. Has probably given up on the Vayne though, just using a Vayne too.
Yeah, with the 6 lights dealing, getting all that attack speed onto this Vayne. Hopefully he can find a Runeans as well. That would be huge for the 2 items he has.
Oh yeah.
A lot of damage to be able to pump out.
This Yi.
Yeah, already attacking very fast. Yeah, the Diana's the last one standing yet again. Not going to be able to do nearly enough this time.
Not quite. She's eventually getting outscaled. You know, she is still doing a lot of work. We saw she did 5k damage there in the last fight. As Yohei quickly checked those enemy damage charts. But just wants to be rolling now for the Nasus and for the Jax. Finding those 3 stars would be very, very helpful, considering that he is at 12 HP. Kladeous a little bit under him at 10, and Godant at 14. You know, this is the difference between getting 0 points for 5th and maybe even clutching out a 3rd place and getting at least 2 points. These players are going to be hoping they could win their next rounds.
Exactly, and we'll have to check in on Kladeous soon, but first we have this round.
Triple Ionic.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't see that earlier, but it looks like Diana's gonna take it out right away. A lot of burst damage coming out. Malphite gets a big ulti into a decimating smash, gonna hit a couple people there. It's just down to the Kindred though, and she's not gonna be able to do quite enough. God Ant
3 HP
hangs on over to Kladeous. Oh, not to Kladeous. Here we have Rayditz and to Yohei.
Kladeous won the round.
Very big for him. Did he find those 5-cost units? It looks like he's still sitting on that Master Yi.
Yohei lost, but is on 3 HP still, so did hang on there. And thankfully, he did hang on because he found the Jax. Has not found the Nasus, though.
Yeah, that would have been big if he was able to find the Nasus as well, but the Jax is huge in and of itself. To Yohei, 3 HP, fighting for that last spot on the winner's podium for this round against God Ant. Kladeous also low enough to fall.
Yeah, hey, maybe even Rayditz could potentially fall if it's a bad enough defeat. DXN's the only person who's very, very safe from getting one shot. We see Yohei.
He's gonna have to
face the Triple Ionic brand again.
Here he goes.
Yeah.
We're going to see when these ultis start to go out. A lot of damage coming out of that. Sion going to go down before his ulti. Brand going to die as well. Master Yi pumping out a lot of damage. Still alive, still pushing damage. HP. Unstoppable force, not able to pick up any kills. And to Yohei, looks like he will stay alive, putting some damage on the DXN. Kladeous is the one who falls.
5th place.
We expected the other 2 maybe would go down here at 3 HP, but Kladeous, no. He's the one who falls into 5th place, not able to secure any points on this round. God Ant and to Yohei still surviving, grasping on to the last thread of their lives, try and put some points up on the board.
And every point is so valuable right now as look at these scores. It's a very, very close between these 5 players on the board here. DXN, I believe, grabbed another Ionic Spark there.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I have not seen
4 Ionics.
This many in any game, I don't think. I don't think I've ever seen 4 Ionics on a board.
Me neither. I'm pretty sure that's also a first for me as well. That's 400 true damage to anyone that casts a spell when those units are still alive. Now, Brand has fallen pretty early in the past couple of fights to either Assassins or a Master Yi. But we'll see. I mean, Brand's walking pretty far forward here. Gets pushed back, though, by the Janna. It's able to get ulti off. Yeah, these Ionics are doing work.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Lux may have just died 2 Ionics when she ulted back there. Got a little bit of damage was done to her from some of the AoE, and then just popped a ultimate off and died.
God, and 4th place, getting eliminated there.
DXN looking to fast track his way to a first place finish here.
So
taking out
likely.
and we'll see if he can keep taking out his opponents here. That's a T2 Lux picked up for Rayditz.
Indeed.
Ginsu's a couple items going on to that.
Yeah.
If it can hyper carry.
Definitely. That's a scary looking Lux there. If she's able to get ulti off, then that'll be so powerful. Wait, I actually can't look at the Lux game without thinking of Sneaky's cosplay. Actually, every time I see that Lux, I think of Sneaky's cosplay. Every time. But we'll see if it's able to carry here.
Fellow C9 member, Sneaky.
Indeed.
Cosplayer extraordinaire.
Cosplay god, actually. Ooh, the Lux? That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's huge.
Got a kill, too, so gave some mana back. Wait, this Lux is actually carrying.
Oh my god, it's actually gonna... It's putting T Yohei out of his misery. Gonna send him away in 3rd place.
15,000 damage on that Lux.
Yeah, absolutely bonkers. Maybe that's enough for Rayditz. Maybe that's enough for Rayditz to take down DXN. He's gonna pick up a light buff here that's pretty useless for him.
Yeah, not a very good one there.
On the side of DXN.
Redemption's okay.
Do anything.
Better than the light, that's for sure. Better than the light. I mean, yeah, no, light's just gonna be some magic resistance, and that's about it. DXN still has not found the Scion 3. Has rolled a lot of gold and has not found it, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's still very close to that Scion 3, but not quite there.
There are 3 Scions on the side of Rayditz, making it a little bit harder to find that last one. But there's still a few left in the pool. I believe there's 16 total. Yeah, there's 16 total 3-cost units in the pool. So there's the 11 taken already, 5 more left. Yeah, quick caster math, easy.
Easy math there, easy math.
Easy math. That's gonna be a tanky Scion there with a Thornmill and an extra chain vest.
Yeah, DXN gonna see maybe if he can roll down to this. He's got 31 HP, so it looks like he's gonna hang on to it and econ 1 additional round.
Yeah. 31 HP. Probably will not die in 1 round. The Yi 2 has no items on it though, but there is 4 shadows.
4 shadow, yeah. 4 shadow. Gonna be
I'll
buffing
do
him
a
quite a bit.
damage. Rayditz here.
Checking back and forth, seeing if they can get any edge in this fight.
Yeah, there is no Zephyrs on either side.
Lux, we're gonna see.
Oh,
First
yeah.
ulti's coming out.
Very soon.
Gonna hit.
Able to pick up 1 kill.
Picks up a kill. Now it turns to the big group.
Oh, got another one. And the Nami.
That was a huge tidal wave from the Nami. That was massive. DXN gonna take a good amount of damage here.
Yeah.
Dropping pretty low down to 9 HP. He's only got 1 round left. He's gonna have to start rolling away all that gold. Tarek picked up by Rayditz. He's gonna throw that in. That's a T2.
Yeah.
Tarek in the front line. DXN gonna have to start really searching. I don't know what he needs to find. Malzahar and Scion, it seems like, sells the Malzahar away, levels up. Sells all of it, looking for anything. Light Lux, not what he wanted to see.
That's an interesting play. Grabs 2 Mystics. 2 Mystics? Okay, that's very strong against the Lux. That's gonna be an extra 40 magic resistance to the whole team. I think I like that play there. It's either roll for the Scion, level up another Scion 2 in, or level up and roll for a Mystic. And he did find a Mystic, so let's see if that's enough. Ooh, the Tarek falls. Yeah, the Lux didn't one-shot the Brand because of that magic resistance. Alive,
so that's a lot of DPS that's just going to come out from this Ionic. It's actually doing a lot of work, and the Lux misses the ultimate there, or unless it doesn't deal damage if she falls before it casts. One of the two. I'm not sure the interaction, but that's probably enough for DXN to win this round, and that might be enough for the game as well. One last little summon on the ground, and DXN's going to take it. Huge play there. Very intelligent play for him to go for that. Sell all the Scions, roll down to 9, and hunt for a Mystic. He barely found it. DXN! Big brain plays. Big five-head plays there.
Yeah, I love moments like that. You have one round left. You have to make the exact correct decision to win the game, and he did just that. Calculated the gold he needed. Sold. He was one Scion off for the whole game. Said, you know what? The Scion dream is dead. I have to get a Mystic here. Screw the Scions, and he did just that, and it made the difference. The brand lived with like 100, 200 HP, got healed up. The Onyx did work. The Lux fell, and he took the victory there. Impressed play by DXN. I love moments like that. That was so good.
Outstanding move by DXN. Absolutely incredible. And we'll be like heading into a game 4 with very tight standings for this top 4, trying to see where these placements are coming in.
Oh, definitely. Man, Rayditz, I thought he was going to be able to do it. I thought he was going to be able to take that. I mean, DXN was losing rounds, but just goes to show the decision-making of this patch. Going back to the fact of those small synergies, being able to tech some of those in, 2 Mystics, value.
Yeah. All he needed. It kept the brand alive, and then the triple Ionic able to pump out enough DPS. Absolutely crazy.
I love it. Rayditz here.
DXN.
Still in first place, 8 points. DXN though, that was a very, very key victory. It leaves him only 1 point behind Rayditz. So if DXN is able to place higher than Rayditz in this next game, I believe he will take the victory based on, even if he only places 1 time higher, say DXN gets a first and Rayditz gets a second, DXN will have more victories, so he'll win the tiebreaker. But Godant with 6 points as well could also secure victory here. If Godant is able to get a first or a second place is what Godant needs. And then Rayditz and DXN would have to get bottom 4. There's so many possibilities here. Oh, we see Kladeous, or Kymzi with 4 points, Kladeous 3, 2, and Yohei with 2.
Kymzi can still make it back onto that like winner's platform, not quite first, but still getting into that like higher tiers of the money. So definitely a tight race here. Really excited for this 4th and final game. As we get into it, we're gonna see a lot of people rushing for that Malzahar. Gonna get grabbed by DXN. He gets the glove.
Those carousel mechanics. It is another cloud map.
Yet again, I was like looking at it. I was like, that looks familiar.
Had 3 cloud maps in a row here, so we did not get to experience any of the mountain or the ocean hexes tonight, but maybe next week. But actually, look at the scores here. Theoretically, Kymzi could actually win because she has a first place. So if she gets a first here, to tie 8 points with Rayditz, Rayditz have to score 0 points. DXN would have to score 1 point or lower.
She could.
Godant 2 points or lower. She actually could win.
A lot of things have to happen, but they definitely could. We've seen crazier things here on Fight Night, so we're gonna have to see. She's got to fight for that first place. She's still got a shot in this one, and we know she can do it. She's already gotten 1 first place, so gotta keep fighting for it. Now,
it might be another hyper roll kind of game. You know, those are risky decisions to go for a hyper roll comp, but if you hit those units, you're going to be so strong. Already has a couple predators here, so that might be the route she decides to go for if she's comfortable with doing that. Man, I wonder. A lot of things have to happen in this game. Teebs already with a 2-star Warwick. A couple of glacials. I don't think we've seen many people go glacials tonight. Maybe there's like 2 glacials with an Olaf, but no one I think has gone to 4 glacials yet.
Mostly 2 glacials is what we've seen.
Yeah.
I do love, however, what they've done with the elements and just bringing in skins. You know, they have the Tundra Stalker Warwick, and now he's and they've been doing that with a lot of these different skins. They brought in Caterpillar Kog'Maw to what is he actually? I'm trying
He's
to
poison predator.
Poison predator. Okay, yeah. Caterpillar Kog'Maw, a bunch of cool skins. Overlord Malzahar. They brought in the water bender for Vladimir to make an ocean.
A lot of cool things. Yeah, that's why initially when they were, just getting into releasing TFT, they said they weren't going to make, you know, you be able to put custom skins on those units because they were planning on doing stuff like this with the synergies, and having those specific skins. And, you know, Rise of the Elements, very much what they had in mind, I suppose, when they said that.
Yeah, very much on the nose. They had it prepared from the beginning. It was very much ready to come out once they needed it, and it's so far delivering on their promises here to bring in all these skins. Definitely exciting. I'm loving the mechanic. I was hoping we'd get to see all 4 elements come out. Unfortunately, we've seen 3 clouds, but that's the way she goes in competitive TFT, as in competitive League. We get cloud drakes.
Sometimes you just keep rolling the cloud drakes. But deciding to make the Zephyr here, Godant doesn't put it on the Hex, but it still is able to Zephyr the Maokai anyway, because of the proximity of closeness compared to the other units. That Vayne has a bow. Didn't decide to make the Runehounds, but I think the Druids and Woodlands are going to be a little too powerful from Kladeous here. Actually, I'm not sure. This will be close. Might have spoke too soon here.
Yeah, it's going to go into that OT, I'm pretty sure. And at that point, I think Vayne does have a little bit of an advantage since she's going to be getting that true damage proc much more frequently, which I think will be enough damage to get this Maokai down. He does heal a bit, but I think Vayne benefits from that overtime, that Earth mode, a little bit more than the Maokai does.
I actually wasn't sure for a second there if the Vayne Silverbolt's proccing would count for Maokai, because Maokai needs to get by a spell in order to heal off the next auto attack, but good to know that the Vayne Silverbolts
might have, though. He was
he did.
Okay. Yeah,
so
but it just count. It's not nearly enough healing to counteract the damage of the Silverbolts coming in, especially on such a high HP unit.
Yeah, definitely not, but still a good interaction to know nonetheless. We see Rayditz here with a Seraphs and a bow on the Vladimir. Vladimir going to be a good early game carry so that he can get a win streak. Rayditz has been win streaking 2 out of the 4 games thus far. This is the 4th game, so maybe we'll look to make that 3 games that he's win streaking from the beginning.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Vladimir going to pump out a little bit of damage here. He's got quite a few buffs on him. He's hitting the Nasus right now, going on to the Warwick. We're going to see if we can get any frozen procs here, glacial procs, because that's the only way that this Volibear and this Warwick are going to be able to take down this Vlad. But no,
it doesn't look like it. Oh, there's one.
There's one, but I think it's far too late, and we're going to get another proc yet again of that transfusion. I think they call it drain in TFT instead, but transfusion nonetheless.
Yeah, Teebs did decide to make a Giant Slayer item there, so maybe it's gonna take some inspiration from that Sivir that we saw last game, the tier 3 Sivir with a Giant Slayer. I'm not quite sure. Perhaps. See Kladeous here with the Ionic. Not quite 100 HP, 96, but still pretty strong with these Woodland Druids, and then the Ornn at tier 2. Some pairs on the bench as well.
Yeah, we'll see that. A couple pairs, those Dianas yet again. We'll see if we run into a monster Diana once more.
Perhaps so. Diana, very strong unit, so definitely why Kladeous is keeping her around on the bench for now.
Those double LeBlancs gonna blow up the back line of Teebs.
Yeah, Soraka in. But Soraka does fall. LeBlanc looking to get the stun here on the Nasus. I think that indeed she will. I think this is gonna be a victory for Kladeous. Got it, winning that round. Kladeous scouting a little bit. The Warwick though still alive, but not gonna do quite enough. Winning on the round, 2 rounds in a row. There's offered a Nazir there for summoners. I wouldn't lose Kladeous gold if he ended up taking that, but I suppose doesn't want the Azir. There is a split second after the carousel round where you can still buy units from last round, so maybe that'll be what Kladeous decides to do, but
yeah,
maybe just looking to make money instead. He was picking up that glove.
Yeah. On a Scion.
Glove. On a Scion, which is a good unit and a good item on a good map for it. So we'll see if Teebs decides to keep that Scion. It's a very value pick right there. Yeah, Rayditz actually is level 5 right now. Not a lot of people go to level 5 before this carousel phase. Usually it's after players will go to 5, but Rayditz really wanted to keep that win streak going early on in the game. And I mean, 100 HP still, so it worked out, at least for now. Yeah, Rayditz, had Mage, Ocean, Woodland, Druids. So that's pretty good reason to level up, I would say, to 5.
Yeah, that's a stacked left side of the board that we're seeing here. Quite a few synergies for Rayditz.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely gonna look to win streak. He's at 100 health already, or still. Yeah. And in the first game, we saw him sit at 100% for
quite a long time. I guess Rayditz values that early game advantage, you know. That's good for multiple reasons.
But it did lead to his eventual victory as well. So we'll see if he can ride this momentum and close out his back-to-back victories at Fight Night.
Maybe. I mean, if Rayditz places well here, he's definitely looking to secure that victory. If he gets a first, he guarantees it. Gets a second, then only if DXN beats him. Will DXN, I believe, a win. It's a lot of pressure here for Rayditz. He's definitely feeling it right now. Needs to make the correct decisions to win this game, or at least place high. And he's doing just that. Still at 100 HP on a win streak. Yeah, 4 wins in a row.
The damage onto Godant there. This comp is very, very strong.
Definitely a pair of Syndra's as well. Yeah. Syndra's a pretty good early mid game unit. I feel like she kind of falls off later on, but good unit right now. Provides Ocean and Mage. Like every unit that Rayditz has right now is providing 2 synergies, I believe. Yeah. Yep. So definitely a lot of good crossover there.
Yeah, gonna be very, very strong for him, especially with all these synergies already. He's just gotta find the pieces of the puzzle, put it together, and continue to snowball this lead. Wait, Kladeous might be strong enough to win. Gotta watch this closely. LeBlanc already in the backline trying to pick up kills. We gotta watch this Vladimir if he can keep these transfusions up and keep his health there. But the double Ivern putting a lot of support down, and the LeBlanc still trying to pump out some damage. Ivern able to keep Syndra alive for her to get her ult off. It was just enough. Able to take down Maokai, but Vlad falling very low. We'll see if he can keep getting the transfusions. No, does not seem like Rayditz will be able to keep his HP up. He will fall to Kladeous, and he's going to drop down to 93 and lose his win streak, while Kladeous is going to maintain his win streak.
Yeah, Kladeous now securing that 4 win streak. Kladeous only lost the first round, but has won every round since then. The last fight, I was looking at the Vladimir the whole time, because while Vladimir was healing for 350 per spellcast, he was also taking 200 true damage from the Ionics. So the healing not doing quite as much as you would hope there. That Nico and LeBlanc doing work for sure.
Absolutely huge, that Ionic being able to counteract him. Oh, this is unfortunate for Kladeous, unable to move his units in time. I think he'll be okay. His comps are very strong. One of them was an assassin. It's just the Nico that was the worry. Yeah, he's able to get him over there and be able to take
Nico was a sacrifice. Maybe Ivern? Oh, Ivern shield coming in clutch.
Double Ivern shield. That's it's a full new HP bar for Nico here, and she's going to be sitting pretty. They're going to pick
Nico is fine.
Kladeous. He's going to grab a Needless and a Giant's Belt.
Yeah, I wonder if the Ludens will be made here. Ludens is a good early game item. Hits the Zyra too. Morella's, I mean, there's multiple good items here. I think Redemption is a good item. Maybe not the one you want on LeBlanc. Morella's is good and Ludens is good. So definitely some options here for Kladeous. Has a Brand on the bench too. Maybe looking to go into mages later on? Perhaps. Brand is a mage. Just looking at the abilities there. For Brand, Pyroclasm and the Nico. I don't know what the Nico one's called. I didn't look, but...
Well, if she has Pop Blossom, then there's that. But I'm not sure exactly what her ultimate is here. She'll be popping.
Not quite sure. But a tier 3 Vayne by Godant. Godant looking for the Hyperroll strat and hits the Vayne. I don't think we've seen someone Hyperroll and hit the tier 3 this early yet. But now we do. Is it enough though? Not right now. Maybe next turn though.
Well, it healed a little bit. No, gonna take a little bit more damage at the end there. Let's see. Nah, it's not gonna be enough. Nico's going to be able to finish off this guy, this Nasus.
Godant taking another hit. But now, Godant will be level 5. So a few players, actually. I'm curious to see if Bentobot or... DXN hyperrolling too. DXN found the Zyra 3. Yeah. And Bentobot hyperrolling for Predators. A lot of hyperrollers this game,
so actually. Finally, after all this time, we've been talking about it all night, and we really haven't seen it too much. We saw a little bit of it here and there. Yeah. But and now everybody's doing it. They're like you said, hey, it's a high-risk strategy, but it's one that you can use to try and get a first place. And guess what? Everybody's going for that first place because they know they need it in order to take home that first place of the entire night.
Yeah, so either if they want to just make it to the top 3 or top 4 to get a percentage of those bits, top 4, or they just want to secure some points to try to be able to win. Yeah, very risky strategy. We see hyperroll versus hyperroll here. That Zyra 3 doing work, but it looks like the Predators are a bit better for now. All those Zyra plants though. But now the redemption coming out here.
Gonna be too much. Bentobot gonna be able to take down DXN. DXN definitely looking to try and hold on to a little bit more HP, but he's dropped down to 56. He definitely needs to find the win here. He's one of those top dogs in the standings right now.
That he is. Bentobot, another Skarner there. But yeah, we see that these points are all so close. Rayditz at 8, DXN 7, Godant at 6. Theoretically, Kymzi could still win as well if she gets first, depending on a lot of other factors. But yeah, no, the 4 people contesting that spot right now for first place. The
Kladeous
pressure is on.
Sitting at the top spot with his hot streak that he's been rolling since round 1. Definitely going to try and hang on to that for himself and get himself onto the podium at least. He's still got 3 points. He can get himself all the way up to potentially even second if he does really well in this game.
Double Frozen Heart there in that Kiana. I don't see Frozen Hearts being built that much anymore, so it'll be interesting to see how powerful that seems to be.
I mean, this Renekton doesn't look like he's playing the game, but we'll see if he can continue to work out for them throughout the rest of the game. If this Kiana can get on multiple targets and be reducing that attack speed, it'll be huge because, I mean, as you could see from just there, Renekton really wasn't doing much. So if you get that in between a couple targets, I mean, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, that's where if you're playing actual Summoner's Rift, your teammates question mark ping you, say, yo, are you AFK? Like, what are you doing? It's like, nah, 2 Frozen Hearts, I can't attack, can't play the game. But no, they look to be very, very strong. But yeah, for sure, as you said, if they're able to get around multiple targets, those Frozen Hearts, I think it's 35%, maybe, I think it got buffed, so it's 35% attack speed slow in that to every adjacent unit. And it's not an assassin.
It would be quite good getting into that back line.
Oh, for sure.
Stopping all these auto-attacking carries that seem to be running rampant through the game right now.
Yeah, it is another cloud map though, so these auto-attack carries aren't going to get quite as much value as they might if it were another map. But Rayditz now is in first place. Kladeous did lose last round, so Rayditz is back in first. Back with some upgrades. Found that Malzahar 2, found the Lysindra 2, and has LeBlanc 2 now as well. So every unit currently on the board is upgraded.
More items onto the Vladimir as well. Definitely looking good for him.
Yeah, that's a really good early mid-game carry. Eventually, I believe Rayditz will sell that Vladimir and spread the items out accordingly. But for now, it's definitely putting in work. Rayditz is on a 3-win streak again.
If he ends up keeping the mages, who is he going to replace the Vladimir for? Who's he looking for to get in there?
Brand is a very good mage. Does have Vigar on the bench there. Vigar is also a mage and a shadow. But he would be losing Ocean, putting it in right now. Maybe once he finds Vigar 2, he'll look to put that in. But playing against Bentobot with the Predators here.
Yeah, and the Kog'Maw stacked in the back, trying to put a lot of damage out onto this comp. Definitely hitting pretty hard, getting those executes from the Predator. I'm not sure if Vlad's going to be able to do enough here. He drops, but gets a heal beforehand. Now he's going to get hit again, chomped by the Predator. These Kog'Maws doing some work. And we've seen the Predator do a lot in the earlier games. So we'll see if we can see another repeat of that here.
Yeah, definitely 2 Kog'Maws away right now. We do see Godant, another hyper roll composition here, but with lights. Hit the Vayne 3, is 1 Nasus away, is like 4 Jaxes away. Needs to find a Yorick, and then he will have 6 lights, or a light item, I suppose. But needs to get items for that Vayne though. The Vayne being tier 3 with only a rapid fire cannon, while it is a good item, it needs other damage items to really synergize with it, like a Rage Blade or a Runans. I would want to see. So hopefully from the Wolf round next round we'll get some of those. Facing the Predators though. Hyperroll comp versus Hyperroll comp. Which one is better right now?
Yeah, we're gonna have to see. It looks like these Predators are going to be putting out a lot of damage to Kog'Maw with the items in the back line. It's getting dodged quite a bit. It's preventing him from killing off this Nasus. Finally gets the proc. We're going to see if the Predator is going to be enough. The Runan's a very nice tech onto the Predator. Every single bounce can kill someone off, but it looks like the Kog'Maw will fall down to this light comp.
That Vayne did 4k damage there, doubling damage of even the second player there. Yeah.
Yeah, staying alive. Be able to pump out a lot of Deets.
Oh, there's the Yorick.
Yeah, he's finding everything he needs.
That's the 6th light.
Light is definitely seeming like a pretty solid comp. It's definitely working really well for everybody that's run it so far.
So. Yeah, I mean, it only doesn't work that well if a lot of people are going for the lights, but I think Godant is the only player hyper rolling for them, and I think one of the only players that even has a light unit. Other players might have only a couple. But no, yeah, definitely getting everything that he wants here. Might next round roll to find the Nasus 3, but then after that, I mean, that's only 1 cost units that you need at tier 3, so probably will level to 6 and be able to put that Aatrox and Yorick in for the 6 lights there. Got it in a good spot here.
Items can be picked up. It's gonna be
half of a Rage Blade. That is a full Rage Blade actually.
Well,
wow.
There you go.
And a belt and a vest. Okay. A lot of items there for Godant. Finds a Jax. Okay, is just leveling up right now. Isn't spending any money rolling for that Nasus. Thinks that Nasus will just eventually naturally come to him. And yeah, that Rage Blade being made on the Vayne. Maybe Warmogsing Jax is gonna be the play, I would say, out of anything here. Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Might be the play, just try and get him tankier with all that dodge, trying to just stay up and disrupt while the Vayne pumps out all the damage. There haven't been very many assassins in this game or in this entire day. Only a few assassin comps have come out. So being able to have these backline carries has definitely seemed to be the flavor of the month.
Definitely. And I mean, the mages though of Rayditz, are they able to beat enough here to take down the lights? I don't know. That Vayne's just getting so much attack speed from all the other light units dying. I mean, the light units are dying very fast.
We'll see. I mean, there's dying maybe a little bit too fast, and now the Frozen Heart's coming into effect.
Oh,
being able to stop a lot of that damage. Staunching the bleeding enough to pick up the kill onto the Vayne. Rayditz going to take that round, staying at the top of the pack.
Yep. Rated still first place, where he's been throughout these games, most of them, and where he still is. See Teebs here taking out 2 Yohei here. I actually want to take a moment to scout Teebs' board. I think Teebs had some lights as well. She does.
You would be right. That would be 6 lights if I can still count.
Yeah.
There would be 6 there.
I said not any other players were hyper rolling for those lights, but I think Teebs did roll for them because she's only level 6 right now, 41 gold, and has not found as many of the units as she's looking for. Only has 6 veins total, needs 3 more for a tier 3. Yeah, just has not found as many of the units as who is it, Godant?
Yeah, that's going to put her in quite a bit of trouble here. She's not going to be able to find those units throughout the rest of the game, and she won't hit that power spike that's so necessary for the lights to continue to pop off.
Indeed. Yeah, Godant was the other player with the lights. I mean, both of these players, it was a risk for hyper rolling lights. Another player is going for them, but they both took the risk, and it seems that Godant has the bit of a better time with this. It's gone a bit better for Godant. Yeah, Teebs gonna be falling this round, it looks like, to that super stacked Vayne.
Yeah, it's just
Teebs was on a win streak, but not anymore.
Damage.
Yeah.
Those 2 items allowing her to get so many silver bolts procs, as well as the attack speed coming from the passive coming from lights. We'll see. Definitely. I mean, the lights again looking strong. We look here at Rayditz's board. He's got quite a few synergies still.
Yeah, Rayditz again, level 8, around 4-3. Does it every time, almost. And, I mean, he's having success. He's saving money from a good early game, is able to hit level 8 before other players, and is looking for those strong units. I mean, it seems to be a strategy that's working out here. Maybe that's going to be how the meta shifts. I think Rayditz is on top of things. I know he's a very, very strong player, top challenger player.
Yeah, and
He
it looks like
grinds the game a lot.
it might lead him into being able to secure his back-to-back at Fight Night.
Yeah.
Joining among the elites who have done it.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. I think, who else? I know Faye has back-to-backed before. Who else is back-to-backed on Fight Night?
You know, I'm not sure. We had our little hiatus. I'm not sure if we had a back-to-back at that time.
Might have been.
It might be
been
Faye. Faye might still be the queen.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure. Yeah. Don't think so. He's not back-to-backed, but Rayditz looking to be the second person to back-to-back. See if he's able to do it here in a really good spot. Level 8, 84 HP, on win streak. I believe Teebs, yeah, took the Singe there. Level 6 though, I think she's just taking that for the item, but have to look there. Don't think she's going to be putting Singed into a light composition.
You know, probably not gonna assume it's for the Jane Dust, but we could see theoretically poison. I don't think that's the best pairing, but if you can get to the point where you have 9 spots on the board and you want to run poison with it, it's probably not the worst thing, as poison does seem like a pretty good standalone synergy.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, maybe it might be a bit too late, but perhaps Teebs would look to transition away from having 6 lights. You know, not hitting those 3-star units that might be the decision now. But 4 electrics from Kymzi here, finding an electric Lux. Not, however, finding the 2-2 Olaf. That's not going to be good. I think she needs that in order to stabilize here. We'll see. Doesn't have 3 poisons either. Only 2 poisons with the Twitch and the Mundo. If only she had more HP to work with here. Yeah,
because Kymzi might die here. Going up against DXN. He's not the strongest, but he's still pretty strong. Got that T3 Zyra. Trying to put out as much damage as he can. Kymzi so far being able to stay alive just fine with the Olaf pumping out plenty of damage. And it looks like Kymzi's actually going to win this quite handedly. Olaf going to be able to do a lot of work here and keep Kymzi in the game. If she can hold on a little bit longer, as you said, get that poison up, that's going to help out quite a bit.
Yeah, get level 8, get poison, get the 2-2 Olaf, and has the 4 electrics. I think she would be in a very good spot. I would even consider putting 3 poison in place of the Ornn. But that does make it so that it's only 250 damage on electric, down from 500 with the 4 electrics.
Yeah, that's.
So I'm not quite sure.
That just
they're both good. They're both good.
Electrics by so much.
Yeah,
definitely feels bad to do that.
She's picking up the Cogbot, considering. I mean, best case scenario, she win streaks here and is able to get to level 8. But she's rolling. Needs to roll for this Olaf. Oh, there it is. Sells the Renekton, maybe.
That would be worth. I think you need to get that T2 Olaf onto the board.
Yeah, she's thinking about it. Yeah, does it. Okay, I like that. Oh, maybe she was saving that Renekton for 6 Berserkers, but no, I think that was a very, very correct decision to sell the Renekton for the Olaf there. Olaf 2 is going to really, really be, the hyper carry here, be exactly what you needed.
Olaf 2 is incredibly important, and we're going to see if he can pop off right now. Already getting some stuns down. He's going to get knocked up, but he gets the unstoppable out.
Look at him.
Oh my god. I'll look away.
That was disgusting.
I can't look.
As soon as he popped his ult.
That's not okay.
Oh man, look at it. He's still going.
How's they gonna just look at this man's? Whose man's is this? Look at him, just gets out there, pops that ulti, goes from half health to full, just pumping damage. I don't know.
Yeah, it turns out when Olaf pops that ulti, he can't be disabled, which means no attack speed slows, no disarms, no nothing. Olaf just goes to town. He has innate lifesteal paired with the bloodthirst to get more lifesteal. Yeah, has rapid fire cannon, has rage blade. That's a lot of attack speed there. Kymzi, can she get first this game? That's what she needs to be able to.
From 8 HP, it'd be a climb.
Yeah, it would be a climb. And Rayditz would have to bottom 4 somehow, which
it's not looking likely.
Not looking likely, but Kymzi can still achieve top 4 here very easily if she's able to win some points here. We do have the Raptors
try and hold on as long as she can.
These electrics doing work. I mean, she has a pretty good composition here. Again, the only thing that I think would really make it a lot better is those poisons on next level. Another item there. I wonder what this is going to be. It could be Ionic Shojins for the Lux. It could be Hush. It could be Gunblade. Yeah, Gunblade Hush. Taking out the Volibear. No.
Thinking
Yeah,
about
Volibear is Zerker and Electric. Yeah, you can't really see taking any of these units out and making it better right now, I suppose. So it's just a matter of what items she makes. I think it's going to be Ionic and Shojin's. I mean, I would see a case for hushing Twitch, though. When Twitch gets that ulti off, that spray and pray, being able to hush multiple targets would be good. Facing the Predators, though, a lot of tier 3 units here.
Yeah, we'll have to see if this Olaf can keep himself topped off after he procs, because if he falls to that threshold and dies to the Predator, that's the big tragedy, and he does not able to stay life-stealing enough, and he falls to the Predators, and that's going to be it for Kymzi. She's going to fall out here at 8th, and that's going to be her fight night. Unfortunate for Kymzi, had some really good games. It's very, very streaky player, it seems like. Got that first place, got a couple late places, but still, at the same time, very solid competitor coming out here and performing valiantly at fight night.
Definitely. Similarly to Teebs. Teebs falling right after in at 7th place. Very good player, but just not finding quite the success that she was looking for here tonight. Yeah, we have our top 6 here. Bentobot, level 7, nearly 50 gold. Hyper rolling the Predators. Looking to get poisons in next level. Just needs either Mundo or a Singed. Found the Skarner 3 as well. We see another Skarner 3 with Redemption here.
That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, 4 3-star units with Steel, Ranger, Predator, and Crystal. Crystal and the Skarner. That's going to be pretty useful. Only be able to take 100 damage maximum. Up against comp where you probably won't be taking that much burst damage anyway from Godant, but 2 hyper roll comps battle it out here. Are Predators gonna win? Oh my god, that was a lot of damage there, whatever that was.
It's gonna burst into the Predator there, trying to get a lot right here. Predator proc. It's just gonna come down to the Nasus, but he's gonna get procced as well, and the GA is not gonna do anything because he's just gonna get procced on repeat.
Yep.
And he goes
7k Kog'Maw damage. We saw 3k Rek'Sai damage, I believe, there. And these Kog'Maw items, these Giant Slayers, I wonder, how good is Giant Slayer really? Oh my god, this is so many summoned units. Who is that? Oh no, 2 Yohei. Yikes, that was quite the defeat there. Being eliminated in 6th place there. To a tier 2 Nami, 3 summoners. Yeah, now has 2 Oceans as well. Not 3 mages yet, but Rayditz looking pretty strong right now. Might be able to contest Bentobot.
Yeah, he's looking good. Bentobot's sitting in 1st place, but Rayditz not far behind. Has a very strong composition here. A lot of synergies as well. He's going to see if he can sneak his way into 1st and take the victory with authority.
A lot of good synergies too. I mean, replacing that Maokai for a mage, I think would probably be what Rayditz is looking for now. But might decide to put in something else. Not quite sure. This Nami wave though is so strong. The Zeds cloning. There's so much stuff going on my board. What is happening?
It's crazy. The wave going off. Summons all over the place. Infernal stuff on the ground.
Oh,
but instead he's gonna just kill DXN.
Oh man. Oh, wait, that was actually players are dying left and right here. Kladeous in 5th, DXN in 4th. Those are 2 players with some top scores. This is interesting now. We see.
Yeah, it's coming down to the wire.
Yeah, DXN had 7, Kladeous had 3.
Rayditz has to hold on versus Godant. Let's see what he can do.
I'm not sure. This is
the fight for 1st there.
Definitely intense finish.
Bentobot trying to reserve some pride here and get a 1st place on the board, get some points.
And Godant has 6 points coming into this. So if Rayditz gets 3rd and Godant wins, they could tie in points. There'd be other tiebreaker. I don't know. It's way too much. It's way too much.
Yeah,
I'm trying to do math.
It's a lot. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We will indeed.
We got to see who's going to bring this one home. We got the light comp. Performed pretty well all tournament.
Yeah.
On the other side, Rayditz got a big hodgepodge of synergies, and we'll see who can come out on top here. Zed in the back line.
Going off.
There's a knockup from the Nami.
Assassin's on the vein. That's a 2-2 Zed now.
He's able to pick it up. that should be it for Rayditz to find the win on this fight. Being able to pick up that Vayne.
Looks like it. Godant will probably need to look to move that Vayne out of that corner. Otherwise, it will be jumped on by the Zed once again. Jax doing all that he can here, but it's not quite enough. One away from the 3-star Jax. Hasn't quite gotten there yet. That's a lot of damage, though. Every single fight is just Zeds everywhere. Of course, the extra summons don't deal damage. There it is. There's the Jax. But the summons won't deal extra damage, but they still look very, very scary, very menacing. Okay, those upgrades that Godant needed. Needed the Yorick and needed the Jax. Does, however, need the Aatrox too, but it's not quite as important. Godant, though, 16 HP when 2 players are above 50 at this stage. That's a lot. That is quite a lot. I wonder if Godant can do it.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Hold on.
He's got to make his way back. Rayditz able to stay in this.
Yeah, facing these predators. Rayditz as well. That Nami.
Alright, he's going ahead and fighting this one out. He's got the Zed staying up. Rayditz trying to hold on. He's got his Zeds. He will be able to take this.
Yeah, Bentaba actually lost a Godant on the other board there. Rayditz, this one's close. Rayditz does, however, fall to the Predators, indeed. 50 HP for Rayditz and Bento. And the dragon round here, we see Rageblade on Rayditz's dragon here. It's still probably the easiest to look to replace that Maokai. I'm not sure exactly why he's keeping the Maokai in for so long. Doesn't actually have Druid. I think that's a visual bug in that Druid synergy there. So it doesn't quite have the Druid. Won't be regaining HP there with that. If we take a look at the other dragons here, I wonder what other items other players have. Yeah, picking up a Nautilus here. Bentobot with the Bloodthirster. Not going to be that great here. Probably just throw that on the Nocturne or the Twitch. Probably the Nocturne though. It'll be okay. And got in with another Rapid Fire Cannon. Now can't put that on the Vayne, nor would that do that much. But could put it on a Kindred. I can see that definitely working out decently well. Is rolling though. Probably going to want to find these Aatroxes and Jannas, the only 2 units that are not upgraded currently from Godant. So I just find the Aatrox at 20 gold. That's pretty good on level 8, finding these 3-cost units. But isn't enough though. Godant still at 16 HP. Bento at 50, Rayditz at 50. Is a pretty large HP discrepancy there. Will it again be enough finding the Aatrox? Not quite sure here. Yeah, Rapid Fire is placed onto the Kindred. Godant facing the clone army here. So hopefully even if he loses, it won't spell his demise. You do take a bit of reduced damage. I mean, the clone armies, the strength of them is indeed the same, but yeah, maybe he's lucky to win anyway, actually. This Vayne in the corner is really popping off, and the Jax 3, Nasus 3, yeah, that was a pretty decisive victory there. I wonder if that was just fight RNG or what, but the Zeds weren't able to really do that much. We see Bentobot and Rayditz here. I mean, talk about the Zeds. There's at least 8 Zeds on the board here. Malzahar with that Rage Blade, pumping out damage as well, summoning units. It looks like it's a lot more damage with the summons, but it was only 15 there. So this game will indeed continue. Godant, though, if he has a bad round versus, say, the Predators, or versus a better fight RNG from those Zeds, might be Godant losing there. We will see. It's just RNG and who faces who, I suppose, and who gets the clone. This is a close one to determine who's going to be tonight's victor. Rayditz is leading going into this game, so he's in a pretty good spot here. Currently in first, sitting comfortable. Bentobot, though, has 50 gold. Probably going to be looking to level up next. Maybe going for Rangers. We'll have to see. Has the poisons though as well. Poisons are the Singe's running towards the Vayne. Not really a target you really want to poison though, seeing as she doesn't have mana to cast. Predators, oh yeah, they're doing work. Nasus falls. Jax is about to. Vayne is not able to pump out enough damage in the corner, or is she? I'm not sure. No, not quite. That crystal buff doing work. Faye not being able to take out that Skarner. So Bentobot hangs on. That was a clone round. Godant could fall here versus the fight between Godant and Rayditz. And no. Godant taking out Rayditz there in that fight. This is back to forth, just trading blows. Oh, we see Rayditz go to 9 there. Put in a Yasuo for 2 clouds. Maybe wants to find a Lux to have 3 clouds, because Lux does gain double synergies. Okay, 4 oceans with that Lux, actually. So yeah, finally taking out this Maokai. Maybe looking for, yeah, just to upgrade those Luxes and those Yasuos right now. I wonder who will put the Frozen Heart on. Probably the Yasuo, but maybe something like an Annie, since he has that Annie in that Cloud Hex in the front line here. Yeah, does just that, in fact. Wants that Annie to really get that ultimate off with 3 summoners. Tibbers is going to do a lot of work. As here, Rayditz with the hands behind the head for a second there, just being like, well, Fate will have to ride, I'll have to ride on Fate here for this one, going into this fight versus the Predators. The 4 Oceans, though, it's doing work, but the Zeds as well. I mean, 4 Oceans giving Zed the mana to ulti cast constantly, summoning even more Zeds. It's a close fight, but it might actually be enough. Yeah, the Lux there outputting a bit of damage as well. Lux 3rd most damage there. The Cinder actually was 2nd most damage. That's surprising to me. Godant does fall, though, in 3rd place. Was not able to hang on, unfortunately. Yeah, Godant was the light Hyper Roller. So it does lose to the Predator Hyper Roller. Very interesting. There's Predators and Rayditz is kind of the Ocean Summoner, Mystic Cloud, and Shadows. Now, I mean, the Zed is going to be probably the most important unit here in terms of carrying. I do wonder, though, if it would have been better for Rayditz to look for an Electric Lux so that Zed could start proccing Electrics. I suppose Rayditz thought that the Ocean, you know, finding that would just be enough. And maybe, you know, there's 1 in 10 chance for Lux to be Electric, or to be any of the elements. So decided to just go for the one that was presented to him. Bentobot here getting Zeke's value on this whole backline as the combat begins. Both players very, very close in HP. 35 from Bentobot, 33 on the side of Rayditz here. That Kog'Maw on the back doing work. The Annie actually got Zephyr'd, so, and Poison. So maybe, okay, does pull out the Tibbers. The Ocean giving her enough mana to do so. Oh, the Lux trying to snipe the Kog'Maw, but Kog'Maw living with 1 HP there. It's still not enough. Bentobot is going to take a big hit here. There's so many Zeds on this board. Zed is a disgustingly strong unit with summoners and as a tier 2 unit, 2-star unit with those items. Seraphs I don't really see that much of, but hey, more mana to cast ultimates, definitely not bad. A lot of 1-star units out of Bentobot here. There's 1-star Kindred, just fight the Ezreal, but 1-star Ashe, and Singed as well, and not really any items to go on them. 1-star Singed, while it does provide the poison bonus, isn't really going to be doing that, like living for that long. Though Bentobot does have the Twitch and the Kog'Maw to apply the poisons. Ooh, getting the Zephyr on that Zed was very, very important, actually. That might be what Bento needs to take this victory. That's a massive Nami wave, though. And the Zeds are still just ulting anyway. There's a tier 2 Lux in the back. It's not dying. The Kog'Maw is trying as much as he can. Same with the Rek'Sai. Oh wait, there is a couple of Predator procs here. So Bento does take this round. The Kog'Maw did insane damage there. These fights are very, very back and forth. A couple of Yis being presented here, but not really what Bento wants to be seeing. Would rather those be Singed, of course. Right, that's with a good item here. GA. And then a Zephyr. Oh man, Zephyr for Bentobot. See a little question mark ping there. Not sure who that was from. Maybe Rayditz. Not sure. But yeah, Zephyrs, as we see, are kind of making or breaking these fights. The Zephyr on the Zed, I think, pretty much single-handedly won that. Maybe not single-handedly, but it was definitely a key factor. Definitely a key factor. Obviously, these Rift Heralds are going to be Zephyr'd here, stalling this round out a little bit, but I mean, these are both good items, though. They're going to be items that players are going to be able to use. I would probably prefer Zephyr here, but GA is not the worst you can get. That's for sure. Believe... Oh, a Nico there. Interesting. I wonder what is going to happen with that Nico. Both players are level 9. Just rolling for the upgrades at this point. Buying Terex. Taking out 4 Rangers. Yeah, taking out the Crystal. Bentobot is trying to make some changes here. Did win the last round. Has Crystal Lux. There's 3 Crystal bonus here. Doesn't have the Ash anymore for 4 crystals, though. But 3... Okay, has the Tarek, though, for 4 crystals. A lot of late game improvements. A lot of late game changes being added. There's 5 gold synergies on the side of Bentobot here. Crystal, Predator, Poison, Avatar, and Alchemist. Obviously, a couple of them are just single unit synergies, but we get this fight underway. This could be the last fight of the game. Ogmod doing a lot of work here in the backlines. Ooh, the Warwick jumps across the screen to snipe a unit there. There's so much crystal going on, though. I think this is going to be it. Yeah, that crystal being put in. Let Bentobot take the victory. Hyper Roll Predators, pretty freaking good. GG. Now, there's going to be a little bit of wait here until we see the scores. Casanova had to step out. So we're holding down the ship solo for now, but thank you all for being here. That was game 4. If you want to, however, still contribute to that bounty, those bits, they help out everyone here, casters and crew, as well as players. The top 4 will be receiving a portion of those bits, so you can still do that before we end here. Gonna be getting those scores updated real soon. Bentobot, though, came in with 4 points. I believe so. Yeah, I believe Rayditz will indeed take the victory, it looks like. We'll get the official confirmation here momentarily, as I think we have a couple of other ties as well. So we'll see who is going to be top 4. Although everyone from today will still be returning tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next week rather, to compete once again. But we do indeed have Rayditz going back to back. Congratulations to him. 11 points, played, secured top 4 in every single game, went first, fourth, and then second twice in a row. We have God Ant and DXN with 8 points. DXN is second place because he did get a victory, so the tiebreakers there. DXN is second. Godant is third. And it looks like, Bentobot will be fourth due to placements. Kymzi fifth. They're both tying for 4 points, however. Kladeous with 3 points. 2 Yohei with 2 points. And Teebs, unfortunately, with 0 points. Not able to get on leaderboards. But this was a tough lobby. A lot of really strong players there. So there is no shame in not being able to get on the boards here. Everyone's super strong. Rayditz, though, very strong player. I think he's been playing a decent amount of this patch. I've watched his stream personally past, I don't know, week or so. He's a very skilled player, so congrats to him. I think we're gonna do a little interview here actually with Rayditz. Oh, how you doing? Congrats on the victory, my friend. I think you are muted.
Oh, I'm muted.
There we go. How's it going?
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
congrats on the victory. You secured top 4 every single game, and I couldn't help but notice you're going for early game win streaks, and I think at least 3 out of the 4 games you went level 8 on around 4-3. Do you think this is the best way to play set 2? Is to go for an early game win streak and then go to 4 or go level 8 on 4-3?
I'm not really sure because it's so new.
Yeah.
But there's so many early game synergies that are so strong now that they just allow you to stay healthy and rack up so much gold because they're so cheap. Like you just go either Woodland or Predator, and you can just coast by and then get so much gold, and you can early level 8.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I think one other player went to 8 at the same round as you, one game, but definitely not a lot of other players did. But yeah, as you mentioned, those those Predators and Woodlands, There was a lot of hyper roll predators. Last game, the hyper roll predator going to the end there.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the stronger synergies here. Was there anything you were particularly scared of in your games today, besides for those predators, maybe?
Yeah, I think there's a one unit that is extremely OP, and I'm hoping they nerf her soon. Kindred. It's the
Yeah,
most broken unit in the game, for sure.
Kindred, most broken. Seeing
Yeah.
some 2/3 Dianas, doing a lot of work today.
Yeah. But Kindred has 3 damage synergies
Yeah,
that are all good, and a single target nuke that reduces healing. So like
Yeah.
you can't even play Olaf right now because you just lose. to Kindred.
true. Yeah, it's kind of like a Pantheon on release sort of thing. It just brings a lot of things to the table.
Yeah.
A built-in item, that same concept, but also 3 synergies as you mentioned, all really good. Shadow, I think, is so strong right now. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised to see Shadow get nerfed in the near future. But yeah, once again, congrats on taking the victory. Do you have any shout outs, last words, anything you'd like to say?
DXN wanted me to say that Hyper Roll is OP, and I kind of agree.
Yeah,
Like last set, or like I guess the last couple patches, no one really hyper rolled. Besides like Void Sins like a month or 2 ago, right?
mm-hmm.
But like this set, like every game, there's at least 3 or 4 people hyper rolling Vayne or something like that, you know?
Yeah, so many things. You can hyperroll woodlands, ocean mages, predators, lights. There's so many options. As long as someone's not going the same comp as you, hyperrolling is like even better this patch or this set.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you very much for taking the time, and congrats on the back-to-back victories. Actually, 2 wins in a row.
Thank you.
Maybe you can get the 3 next week. Do you think so? Think you can get that?
We'll have to see.
Well, if so, a little theoretical. I know the same players will be invited back 1 week from now, but after that, would you like to see anybody specifically on Fight Night in the future? Maybe challenge them.
I don't know, because if I recommend someone, they might beat me, because it's pretty good.
True, it is possible, But there are a lot of strong TFT players out there. Maybe someone will come and claim the throne from you, stop you going back to back to back. But yeah, thank you very much, Rayditz.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. I will see you next week for sure. And that'll be it for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by, watching. A lot of cool action here from the set 2 of TFT. I love casting these HeroesHearth TFT Fight Nights. It's a lot of fun. I'll have Casanova back here next week alongside me. Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it. I think we're signing off here. Much love, and have a good night.